So I'm about 5 hours late to streaming. I got a bit caught up playing Minecraft, making some phone calls. So my apologies, but you know me. Go live anyway. Some people are bound to still be awake. And if anything, for whatever reason, as of late, I've been getting better viewership late at night for some reason, which is great because that's the time I'm awake. Um, so yeah, I'm here in my apartment, rotting away. Um, what is up, people? I got suggested. I this is so stupid, dude. I got suggested some some ACC drama to cover, but I made a vow to stay away from that community. So the question is, do I want to dip my toe in or not? And funny enough, if I was to cover this, it would actually be favorable to Lio Convoy. I would actually, in this situation, my take would force me to actually say that Lio is the one that is in the right. Why are you giggling? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm a schizophrenic maniac. You look drunk? I'm an alcoholic as well. Um, ow. Yeah, I have this like cut on my finger and I think it's infected, but it fucking hurts. Speak up. Hold on. Uh, this should be good, right? I'll move the mic closer. Um, why is there a red? I love this like meta. I love this meta of like chatter Groundhog's Day, where like every single, because the people that always type this are people that are here. I appreciate all of you day ones. People that are here every single stream, asking me shit like, why is the light red? As if you haven't been here for the last year. Dad. Sometimes I feel like my chat purposefully wants to get me to crash out for the sake of their own amusement. No, that's impossible. That couldn't be happening. Why is your room so boring? Well, I want to decorate a little bit. I'm only here for like 5 more months, but I want to put a painting up in the back there and some like fake plants. Yo! What was that notification? Hold on. My fucking Streamlabs is a little broken, so it notifies me when I get followed on Kick for some reason. I've tried literally everything to fix it. Let me just check that real quick to make sure that wasn't a dono. Okay, it wasn't. Oh, wait. No, it was notifying me. No, yeah, it was notifying me of a Kick follow. How do I turn this fucking shit off? I don't even have it open, so where is the noise coming from? Oh, shit. I've tried everything. Okay. I'm sure we'll fix it at some point later. Why is your hair curly? God, I don't know. Now, for our first topic, I'm going to need to take you on a trip down memory lane. And I hope Infixed is here. I hope Infixed is here because he's actually relevant to this story. Let me just make sure I have the screenshots. To understand today's drama, you have to go back to, what was the year? It must have been around 2019 to 2020. There was this, I was orbiting RFC at that time. There was this girl in the community called like Tazier or something who apparently got exposed for being some sort of pedo. She was also Jewish. Not like that matters or anything. But if I remember correctly, there existed this guy who I thought was my age, but he's actually like, at that point, he was in his 20s. And he has some sort of condition or a lack of sunlight that makes him look much younger than he actually is, by the name of Raintism. and nobody took him seriously. He was in the commentary community at that point in time. He tried to like simp for this girl, I guess, in DMs, and if I remember correctly, the DMs got leaked, at which point this other guy whose career I destroyed with the help of Infixed and Destiny, this other guy makes fun of him, at which point he then makes an announcement that he's in the hospital because he's had a heart attack. So the meme was he had a heart attack because he got called a simp. So people started making memes about that. Well, fast forward to a few months later, and of course he comes out and admits he lied about having the heart attack, right? He lied about having the heart attack, but also another lie he had told people. There was this crazy girl. She was related to like Mumkey Jones or something. I don't remember her name. She was like some known furry pedo. I forget what her name was. But he had claimed that he had gone to her house, she had spiked his drink, he fell asleep, and she raped him. Everyone just ran with that for some reason. And in the course of admitting he lied about the heart attack, he comes out and admits that he also lied about the rape. And not only did he lie about the rape, he never met this person. He had never met this person. So, I gotta be honest, in hindsight, there is something quite commendable about being that fucked and being willing to admit you lied, right? But simultaneously, there's no going back to normal after that. You lied about getting raped by a woman because you're such a fucking virgin, and you, first of all, nothing wrong with being a virgin, of course, but lying about being raped is where I draw the line. And then also you just like lied about having a heart attack because someone called you a simp. There's no getting away from that. So I would meme on him about it constantly, and he didn't like that. And he always had a sort of problem with me, one could say. Now we're going to fast forward to the 2020s, 2021, I think it was. I was in this friend group with John, Infixed, and a few other people. And Infixed was kind of the punching bag of the group. And to my shame, being a fucking 16-year-old meanie or whatever, I also poked a lot of fun at him. Now, one day, I forget why, he had done something that had really pissed me off. So I didn't think there was any way people would think this was real, but I made a tweet. Hold on, I had made a tweet essentially saying that Cam, Infixed, a video got released of him smearing shit on his own face, and I'm speechless. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. For some reason, the commentary community and its like infinite intelligence, believes that this is real. So to play onto the joke, we actually photoshopped an image that made it was the fakest shit ever, that they believed was a frame from the video where he's smearing shit on his face. Now, him and his friends, like Raintism at the time, took this way more seriously than they should. Apparently, it got to the point where I was sent a recording. I think it was maybe Glue that sent me this recording, my former mod, when it used to be known as Nifty, where Infix was in a call, this guy called Robin Gorby was in a call, Raintism was in a call, and they're talking about this thing that I'm doing, and Robin is crying. Robin's an adult, I'm a kid at this point, and he's actually crying because I spread a rumor that somebody else smeared shit on his face. Now, where does Raintism come back into all of this? Well, Mr. Fake Heart Attack lying about rape decided to jump in and give his 2 cents. At the time, I was looking for like the old screenshots I got. Like, hold on. Robin Gorby, it was after Mikhail Gorbachev, because he LARPed as a Russian or whatever. But wait, here it is. I actually went through the photos on my phone. iOS has a cool feature now where you can search for text in photos. And now it's not showing up. Awesome. Awesome. Here it is. Raintism at this point is in his 20s, by the way. Raintism at this point is in his 20s. I got the tweet. Okay. And Thick's name at this time was Cami, by the way. So just keep that in mind as we continue with this. Where the fuck? Dude. Window capture. Sorry, I didn't do my pre-flight check before getting on stream. All right, here we go. So, essentially, fuck. Hold on, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I think that works. No?
So you
Gotta close out yesterday's tabs. All right. Okay, here we go. Even if you hate Cami, pulling these jokes and playing it off like it is real, like it is a real thing, is not only unfunny, but like can actually fuck you up on your end in this community. Like legit, no one's gonna take you seriously about future drama situations when you were slandering motherfuckers like this. So, some people were taking a serious moral stance about what 16-year-old shitter, no pun intended, shitter Aiden was doing, in this situation. And I just thought this was like really pathetic. This guy was like in his 20s then, and it's like, dude, you literally, like, this is the guy that faked a rape and like lied about a heart attack. Like, why are you coming in here telling me that it can actually fuck you up in the community? Like, you're done. And I guess at some point, he had gone to realize that he couldn't be taken seriously in this community because, like many do, he became a femboy, I guess, dressing in maid outfits. When I was originally researching these allegations, I horrifically stumbled upon his main Twitter account, at which point I let out a scream partially reminiscent of the one that when I accidentally saw the Bo Black shit, partially reminiscent of that one. Now, I guess he's now being accused, the guy that lied about getting raped himself is allegedly now being accused of rape. So let's take a look at this and see what's happening to, and also, by the way, I'd like to apologize for lying, because the screenshot, remember how I said I thought this happened in 2021? It didn't. It actually happened 2 months into 2022. So, Gamma, before you call me on it, I'd like to admit this was an egregious lie. Okay. Anyways, back to what we're talking about. You better not show that Twitter. I wasn't planning on it. I wasn't planning on it. Actually, well, just to be safe here, just to be safe. Just want to make sure I can access the doc. And I just want to make sure the images are okay. Trigger warning: rape, sexual assault, mental health issues. Over the past year, there have been attempts to slander me from Rainy Kingpin. I decided it was best to stay silent on the matter. Unfortunately, the negativity is too loud for me to remain silent. I felt that I had to make this document to respond to being falsely accused of sexual harassment and other malicious behaviors. The purpose of this document is to inform, defend, and move on. I will not be discussing this topic any further. I hope this will be the final chapter in this and we can attempt to move on. When you admit, by the way, to lying about someone raping you, anything you say going forward, or making an allegation in that light, and unfortunately, if you actually are victimized, that's really going to be detrimental to you. But yeah, you should be assumed lying until, like, generally I say if there's no proof either way, take the neutral stance. But if somebody has a documented history of lying about this shit, like, the go-to assumption should just be you're doing it again unless you prove otherwise. Like, it's also, if he's still doing this, it's pathetic because he was in his 20s 4 years ago and he just hasn't grown. He was literally like a 23-year-old minor. If this was a woman, you would be does nobody remember my coverage of the Turkey Tom shit after he came out with his response? I literally said her word should never be taken as fact again in this matter because anything that we can verify, anything that can be substantiated, she verifiably lied about. And then Green's sitting over here, fence sitting. He's like, well, Tom didn't disprove everything. Well, it's like, yeah, because some of these claims are literally going to come down to he said, she said, which is why in this situation, you don't have to prove a negative, but a good way to vindicate yourself is to prove that she said isn't good enough because she's a verifiable liar, which Tom adequately did. Let me start out by stating that oh wait, hold on, I missed a donut, one sec. My bad. Thank you, G's for the 2. I can't read what it's like a siren. Yo, thank you so much for the 5. Will is me. I'm sorry I missed that. Rest in peace, my granny. She got hit with a bazooka. Dude, I just fucking hate it when that happens. Also, did you say some of them weren't lying or something? No? What? Okay, let me start out by stating I personally did not want to bring anything regarding Rainey or Rainey's past, but due to the severity of this situation, I think it's necessary to start out by giving some context to show how Rainey has been acting on the internet for the last 5 years. If this person is going back 5 years, they've already won. Because if you go and expand the paradigm, the magnifying glass, to 4 years, you will find a history that over the span of things he did over 1 year kind of like dwarves that of anybody online in terms of like what a pathetic fucking degenerate this guy is. When Rainey and I were friends, he briefly mentioned that he was canceled from the YouTube comment. Dude, they're referencing it. I didn't know that they knew about this. I thought that someone linked this to me as like a standalone allegation and it just happened to include someone that I knew. So they're going to reference this. He briefly mentioned that he was canceled by the YouTube commentary community. I told him he did not need to go into detail about it, as long as he learned from his mistakes, I would not hold it against him. I personally do not believe in cancel culture, and I think that people can change. Based, we love that. Unfortunately, I did not know what I was getting myself into by interacting with him. So there's a difference between when we're looking at a bad thing, and then when we're assessing someone's ability to change from that, or whether we should let them back in or befriend them. The thing in and of itself is not what's going to matter. It's going to be what kind of person would do that thing that we're judging, right? So there's a difference between one-off impulsive acts, patternistic behavior, calculated decisions, etc. In his case, in his 20s, into adulthood, he manufactured 2 pretty detrimental lies and kept them going over a significant span of time. So like the impulsivity factor doesn't seem to be there. Some of these lies didn't even serve a benefit to himself, like the being raped part. He just did that to look special or be included, I guess. And with that in mind, the type of person that would do what Raintism did is somebody that probably has some like deranged aspects to their personality, and is probably going to need a bit of help to do like growth or whatever, right? Because it's not like this was like he just made a mistake. These were like several calculating lies. The type of person that does that is somebody who's deceptive and has all sorts of issues they need to work out. Oh, what? You're back? Yeah, I'm back in the normal spot. You thought I moved? No, I didn't move. I was staying with my grandma. Trying to enjoy the Florida sunshine, but it was actually like really cold while I was there. And then I get back to California. It was nice for days while I was in Florida. So I come back to California. I got one nice day, and then it immediately temperatures are dropping. It was like sunny, 75. I went for the nicest fucking walk. Dude, I felt great yesterday. How do you talk to your grandma if she is deaf? She's not full deaf. She's not full deaf. What I do is, what I found works is, and we just do this naturally in my family anyway. We talk a lot with our hands. So I'll gesture kind of when I'm talking, because she can hear part of the word, but not really know what it is. But when I gesture, the full word is complete and she knows what I'm saying. Or you have to say it very loud. You have to basically yell. And I'm fine with doing that. Did you get any Florida cougars? Dude, what are these questions? Okay. I personally not believe in cancel culture, and I think that people can change. Unfortunately, I did not know what I was getting myself into by interacting with him. On the next page, I've posted a few links to videos that I think would have helped me understand just who I was dealing with. I recommend watching them in order. Oh shit. So they have videos in the old situation. I might be missing aspects of it. The retelling that I was giving you is from my own memory. So there could be parts of this I was missing. I guess we can check these out before we look into his response. Damn, just yelling at poor... so she can hear me. She doesn't mind. She got into a car accident when she was younger. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but it damaged her hearing, like, super fucking bad. And then for my grandfather, he was a dentist. He worked with a drill, and that caused partial hearing loss as well, because it was, working with a loud drill all day. So I have like a fear of also getting hearing loss. So I used to take, when I was living up in Northern California, I was living in the East Bay, but I'd go to San Francisco a lot. So what I would do is you take the Trans Bay Tunnel on BART, which is the best public transit in all the land. And as you go under, it's like a tunnel that goes under the bay to get from the East Bay to, I'd normally get off at Embarcadero in San Francisco. And for whatever reason, as you go in under this tunnel, there is this sound that they haven't been able to fix that's like metal on metal, and it's insanely fucking loud. And it's so loud, in fact, your phone will warn, or your AirPods or phone will warn you. So anytime I would ride that, I started looking like a fucking autist or whatever. I'd put in like fucking heavy ass earplugs whenever I rode that fucking train. Doesn't she call non-Jews goy? No, I didn't. I had never heard the term goy before I was online. I think that like some people do use that, but I think that's more in like an Orthodox, like religious Jews use that. God, I miss Northern California. It's a shame it's so fucking expensive to live there. When I make it, Okay. A lot of the context is hard to find. However, the actions being addressed are not far from behaviors Rainey is still exhibiting today. There have been numerous creators who have made videos about him in the past, causing needless drama such as faking a heart attack. He did that. I was there to witness it. Playing the victim. He's done that. I was there to witness it. Falsely accusing other creators of rape. He's done that. I was there to witness it. Sexual assault. He's done that. Harassment. And deflecting criticism in an attempt to spread hate for his own self-gain. This should show that Rainey has a history of problematic behavior. His Twitter activity accusing me of these actions over the past year feels like a publicity stunt to gain attention rather than a genuine cry for help. This is how Rainey maneuvers drama. He's extremely manipulative in order to sway public opinion. That's what I was telling you. When we're forgiving someone for a bad act or whatever, or letting them grow or move on, you have to be asking yourself, what kind of person would do the bad act that we're judging? And in this case, multiple deliberate lies that occurred over a period of time would indicate somebody who is calculated and methodical with lying, is willing to, has no shame in keeping up outright falsehoods, and is going to be just a very manipulative person in general. He's extremely manipulative in order to sway public opinion, and anyone who looks at his profile can see that it is flooded with hateful posts about me and can come to the conclusion on their own that he's obsessive and is actively begging for attention by attempting to bring me down. However, a good portion of people don't look into this situation fully and just see buzzwords that provoke an immediate reaction. Rainey has tried to cancel me before, but this time he's benefiting from the Twitter algorithm. Okay, so there's actually apparently something. He was the first to post, so we'll take a look at that in a second. In regards to, he does do that. He does do that. Just like with the Cam situation, whenever he thought he had a one-up, he would come out of the woodwork and make a tweet or comment about me because he was mad because I kept making fun of him for being a fucking deranged liar. So if he like dislikes you, he'll wait for the opportunity to like get you back or whatever. However, a good portion of people don't look into the situation. Okay, we already read that. Many of his posts are performing well in comparison to the regular content that he would typically post. All of these posts about me are a call to action to get his community riled up in an attempt to tarnish my reputation as a content creator. Okay, let me see, because I didn't have this. Let's see what Rain's initial allegations were. The one and only gender fluid femboy. Okay, do not go to his Twitter. Do not go to his Twitter. What is this person's? He literally does, by the way, anything for attention. There's like something seriously wrong with this guy. He like filmed a video where like he was like exploring an abandoned house and he took like the lightest fall ever and he was really emphasizing how hurt and injured he was, and it's like, dude, you're such a bitch. Like he's like, ow. It's like, dude, come the fuck on, bro. Oh, I also heard he got married. So what's your excuse? Virgin. Okay, I can't find the original shit. Wait, hold on. He blocked me? Dude, I haven't even tweeted it. I haven't tweeted at this guy. I haven't tweeted at him. I don't even think his name is in the title. This is my new Twitter account. Like, because we stopped talking in 2022. We stopped talking in 2022. How the fuck did he block me? What? Is he? How did he get? How did he get word of this stream? Okay. Bro does not fuck with. I wouldn't. If I were him, I wouldn't fuck with me either. I never gave him an inch on his bullshit. He got, like, can you imagine being some, like, 20-something-year-old fucking failure that is, like, so touch deprived he has to lie online about being raped and having a fucking heart attack to get sympathy because nobody in his own life clearly loved him at that point, and this is getting constantly brought up to dunk on you by some, like, 16-year-old that just, like, bullies you online? I'd fucking hate me, too, if I were him. Um, Okay, how am I going to... All right, I guess I'm gonna have to get a screenshot. Okay, I just want to make sure that anything I'm... Okay, we're gonna have to just do it through search. He's tweeted about this person quite a bit. Hey Sammy, when are you going to address the fact you sexually harassed my wife and that your community doxed us? Or are you just going to keep pretending it didn't happen? Now notice about these allegations. He uses buzzwords. Now there could be the facts here could substantiate him making a claim of sexual harassment, but a good tell to figure out if someone is actually relying on buzzwords to make the claim hit harder is if they actively avoid getting specific. If they avoid getting specific and just rely on the label, then it is possible that they are exaggerating or something about the situation and the facts in and of themselves wouldn't hit as hard. So just keep that in mind. So the allegation is, he's made an allegation that this person sexually harassed his wife and that their community doxed him. Hey Sammy, why are you hiding replies? Do you want your doxing community? Do you not want your doxing community? I assume that means to know that you sexually harassed my wife. Please stop hiding from your actions. Thank you. Hey dude, I know what you're doing. I genuinely know it. I've spoken up multiple times about how you and your community has harassed my wife and I. Your community doxed us and has made us live in fear for I don't know how long. Of course you would say this after I posted about my life being. What? Okay, so this is the tweet. This is the tweet where the initial allegations are made. So these are the initial allegations. So let's take a look at them. Oh my, okay, I did not mean to. Okay, what woman is marrying this? Get some fucking help, dude. What woman is marrying a femboy? Okay, this exact phrase. And he's like trans baiting too. He takes photos with the shark from like the IKEA shark, whatever the fuck it's called. Okay, from these accounts. Did he delete the tweet? Okay, if this is what the sexual harassment is, based on what we can see from the... Okay, genuine question for some VTubers in the community. Why are you okay being friends with a sexual harasser? She acknowledged seeing your safe for work cosplay pics, and you sent her unsolicited nudes before she even answered. Did you see my recent tweet? Sending pics if you want some. Hi, yes, I did, but I also wanted to say hi too. I'm pretty happy I met you. I've enjoyed hanging out with you in the server and talking with you. Okay, this is cut off, so we don't know what the rest of the DMs are. This person is saying they wanted to see pics based on what was specified in a recent tweet. But we don't know what that tweet was that would... Like, if their recent tweet was, who wants my nudes? And then this person says, did you see my recent tweet? Do you want pics? And they agree to that. Then it's not really unsolicited, is it? Rain himself sent an unsolicited dick pic to someone. Wait, where? This Rain person is a... By the way, for all we know, this person could have sexually harassed his wife. I don't know. But this Rain person is the most, like, the most attention-starved, like, loves attention, loves to be a victim that I've ever fucking seen. I don't know what, like, I don't know what happened in his life to, like, make him that way. But he just is in love with it to the point where he's told malicious, deliberate lies about people raping him. Raintism? Yeah, raintism. Right? If you remember, it's a fucking blast from the past. Did I already TLDR it for you? Oh, okay, I'll TLDR it for you. So, Femboy 1, Sammy, is being accused by Femboy 2, Raintism, who has a history of lying that I've been involved with, like, calling him out on. He's lied about rape, he's lied about having a heart attack, etc. Femboy 2 is accusing Femboy 1 of sexually harassing his wife and having a doxing community. Femboy 1 is saying that this is like a lie, and his own past of lying demonstrates this. Now, is it possible for somebody who has previously lied about things like this of genuinely telling the truth this time? Yeah, it's possible. The problem you have is it's like a boy who cried wolf. It's like the femboy that cried rape. At some point, you don't get the benefit of being believed anymore when you've outright admitted to lying about this occurring to yourself. So the facts will either stand for themselves or they won't. But I know that I'm sure as hell not going to be taking Raintism's word on a damn fucking thing. A femboy is yes. I don't know why. I wouldn't be surprised knowing him if he is completely heterosexual and the femboy shit is literally just for more attention. How many viewers do we actually have? Like the stream if you're here. Like the stream if you're real. Thank you. Wait, hold on. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think so. Okay. So we got all of that. Now before we look at his response, let's take a trip down memory lane. Who's this video by? 5 years ago, dude. The vaporwave shit. No, the vaporwave shit was more, like 2017, 2018. 2016 as well, but 2016 I was just a lurker. Hold on, fuck. Yeah, femboys apparently can have wives. I didn't know about that. Some says, well, that's what I've heard. I wasn't gonna say it. That's what I've heard as well. Not that that matters. Not that that matters. Okay, I'm not Chud Logic. I'm not anti-trans people or anything. 2016, I was 11.
Let me preface this video by saying nobody wanted to touch this story with the 10-foot pole.
Why does this sound like Shelby? This literally sounds like Shelby.
Okay, carry on with the video.
Is that not Shelby? Is that not Shelby? Dude, nobody knows where Shelby came from either. What if, like, unironically, this is Shelby?
The story I'll be telling about is my first-hand view into the story of a clout-chasing individual named Raintism. The first time I ever seen his name mentioned was when he was arguing back and forth with Augie.
Dude, the old screenshot. I wonder if any of my memes are gonna show up.
RFC on Twitter.
This guy is like the most pathetic. Okay, for context, when he says unfunniest was this like Northern Irish. He must be in his 30s now. He used to be. He was cool as fuck. But when British people literally ran the community, he was in with like the pyro people, and he was like universally disliked because I think he was like shitting on Augie and stuff.
At this point, a small group had emerged calling themselves the Urine Club. Basically, the group would call out people in the commentary community. Essentially, Rain burned any potential bridges he had with Augie, during that time.
The
Not long
urine
after-
club. Dude, I don't remember that.
Joining the urine club, the YouTuber named Rain ended up leaving the group on rather bad terms. If that wasn't bad enough, in an attempt to suck up to Augie, he tweeted, "I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to dox me because I called him a bubble-blowing baby." Basically, Augie and a few others were calling Pug.
Who? I know his name. Dude, like, some of this is hazy for me. All the profile pictures bring it back. I forget who the fuck Pugnant was. But yeah, they had like this like snark community, I guess, at one point. But this Raintism guy, he's like Benedict Arnold, switching up for whatever's gonna get him liked, loves attention. He literally looks. If you, I hate to use this term, but if you think of like a seed oil vaccine-filled beta male, if you're like Alex Jones over here, the image of Raintism is what comes to mind. Especially when, before we knew he lied about the heart attack, thinking that this guy was actually sitting there on his phone on twitter.com and somebody called him a simp and his heart stopped working is like the funniest fucking thought.
A doxer, and Rain wanted to try to join in for clout and sucking up reasons. Rain went on to apologize to Pugnant.
Okay, I'll do it. Ask the question again.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you sorry for? Raintism.
Pugnant, I apologize for, echoing the false rumor.
And the way
you
he
being a
sounds, I'd like to apologize. According to my Golgi apparatus, I believe an apology is in order. This guy is the biggest It's like, legitimately, I don't like bullying. I don't. It is so hard not to bully this guy. Like, if I were an administrator to school and he were a student that was getting shoved in the fucking locker every day, getting swirlies and shit, like this is some 1950s ass bullying, I would literally say it's his fault. It is literally your fault for being such a fucking loser.
doxer, and upsetting you with the fact of keep calling you a doxer. My actions were pretty cringe. I'm not gonna lie, and they're pretty irrational of me to do it. I'm not gonna make excuses for it. It's pretty immature behavior on my half, but you know what? I will take the right steps forward to not only learn from my mistakes, but gain the full context of certain situations in general. Excuse me. Gain full context of situations in general.
Yes, you
so I know
do.
100% true.
I guess technically, yeah, when it's like a fair fight, someone's done something to deserve it, but then at that point, I don't know if it's necessarily bullying. Like, when you think about bullying, you think about like punching down people who can't really defend themselves.
About it, and I would hope you do the same thing on your end as well.
Like, if you're dunking on some fucking like malicious, like lying fucking loser who's significantly older than you and shit, like, and you yourself, right? It's not like I had strong standing. I've always been like pretty disliked.
But the damage was already done. He burned yet another one of the few bridges he had left, along with, you guessed it, faking a heart attack.
We're going to give you a clean start here if you honestly admit to anything you've done, okay? Was the heart attack thing fake or was it real? Because you have no proof of it at all except from your word, which isn't that truthful and, like,
And no
trustworthy.
one buys it.
It was fake. It was fake.
Dude, I remember
fake.
this. Dude, I remember, because this was like a whole thing. And dude, I remember this. Dude, those moments, you used to get moments like those where like somebody would have to own like the most insane fucking lie or admit to the most insane fucking thing on stream. That was like the beauty of like the commentary community around Augie's like sphere. The thing is, and this is my criticism for Augie now when he streams. I think a really good part about Augie's streams was he was willing to roll in the mud. There was a lot of like Spurg drama. He would get people in calls and shit, and you'd have like, this wasn't an Augie stream, but you'd have these unplanned moments comparable to what happened on this stream. When you organize it too much and you just like have a docket, you know what you're gonna cover, and you like make it too professional or whatever, you remove the possibility of like accidental gems. When I think like a lot of that was like what made the community so great back then. But the problem as well is we've all grown up. At some point, yeah, you are too old to be doing that shit. But it was fun. It was fun.
The The next point in the story was subsequently what would come back to haunt Rain. Late one night, he was bragging about having sex or doing the deed to someone. He went on to say that he had sexual relations.
Yeah, Monkey Jones's girlfriend. At first, he was saying they had a sex tape. Then he was saying it wasn't a sex tape, it was just like fucking rape. Then it never happened. And then it turns out they've never met. This person doesn't even know who the fuck he is.
With semi-big YouTuber's ex, referring to Monkey Jones' ex-girlfriend. After people had told him that she had done some shady stuff in the past, that's when his story suddenly changed. Myself and many others noticed the inconsistencies in his stories. However, the fear of getting it wrong kept most people quiet.
Like, there are lies, for example. There are lies where, like, you can sit in your head and be like, okay, I understand why this person told this lie, and it's not necessarily going to lead you to, like, a malicious conclusion. Like, I forget who it was, but somebody had... Oh, for example, when Chronic was, like, supposed to come to England or whatever, or supposed to meet up with us in England and then didn't show, people were, like, actually making this big deal because he came up with some excuse. They're like, he's lying about it, he's just nervous and doesn't want to show up, etc. And that's a lie where it's like, if he did lie about that, I don't care. He just doesn't want to embarrass himself. So saying you had, like, homework to do or some shit, like, that's an understandable one. Like, I don't really fault him that much over it. But then there are lies that people do without motive, without reason, that you have to ask yourself, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Where they would just, no prompt, decide to invent this. Like, how, like, sick are you? How legitimately sick are you? That, like, you just invent a lie like this that's not even one that's defensive, or, not saying defensive lies are good either, right? Lying isn't good. But, like, this sort of lie is one that is more indicative of a pathological liar, somebody who has something seriously wrong in their head.
The story changed so often it became virtually impossible to believe him. There were screenshots of him saying it was sex, there were screenshots of him saying she flew out to his house, that he was drugged and taken advantage of, that there were multiple times sex, there were screenshots of him saying she flew out to his house.
She flew from blank to where I live. Also, too, in my opinion, don't think you deserve to know what happened because this was a private situation. This was a private situation, even though we only know that this alleged situation occurred because he voluntarily decided to tease that he had a sex tape with this person. All of a sudden, when he's getting pushback for inconsistencies, he now wants to be private about it. I only told the full story in the podcast because it was made public, not by me. Then who made it public?
That he was drugged and taken advantage of.
So then he switches it to rape. I dated a YouTuber's ex who then drugged me and took advantage of me. Yeah, let's laugh at him. So this lie, first of all, it was a lie like to seem cool, which if he was a teenager, and this was the mistake, I think people were more charitable to him because he looks like a teenager. Like, it makes you, in a sense, like, oh, this is some dumb kid trying to seem cool online, lying about having sex. He wasn't a kid. I think at this point, wasn't he I'm pretty sure he was older than I am now. He was older than I am now at this point in time, if I remember correctly. I'm 20. Or he might have been the same age. But that goes from, like, that goes from a lie about having sex to now it's time for him to be victim. Now it's time for him to be victim. Now it shifts to an actual rape allegation so that he can get a dunk on the people going at him over the sex lie. Oh, well, it was actually rape, and you're, like, attacking a rape victim.
There were multiple times.
$2 from Soul. I'm glad I came here for takes like lying is bad. I'm glad I came here from one guy that would have worked a year ago that just doesn't really hit anymore. You gotta try harder than that.
Times and multiple occurrences, and that the last time he did not consent. Honestly, his story was all over the place, and along with the fact that he privatized his podcast episode where he talked about the situation, seemingly very sketchy. Why would he try to hide the episode where he talked about this occurrence? A few things to note: there were moments where he was bragging, trying to seem cool, and there were
Yes, that's how we all know about this. Schrodinger's victim.
moments where he was trying to play the victim and gain sympathy from others. Before we go into any further detail, I want to mention a situation that Rain had a major part in.
It doesn't hit anymore because you have no active chat to do it. I was talking about your one guy. That would make no sense because the message is coming from a single chatter, aka you, who is presently in my chat.
A person by the name of Saucity had worked with Rain and Co. to get their podcast onto Spotify and onto Google Podcasts, essentially micromanaging them. There was a point that Saucity had said to Mango that she wasn't doing YouTube full-time because she wasn't making money. Prior to that, there were even clips of them saying that he would be in an episode of their podcast.
Falsely copy strike him.
Shut up, Saucity. Shut the fuck up. One thing we actually have.
We're having him in a whole episode.
Dude, Neon Caffeine.
We're having him in a whole
This is, by the way, this is Femio's brother now. This is Femio's brother. I'm not kidding. They're actual siblings.
Saucity had stated that he wasn't doing it because he liked them, rather he was thinking it would be good for business.
Yo, no worries, Belinda. If you guys tip, it is not expected, but it is. But if you do it, it's still much appreciated. But you don't have to justify not giving me money or whatever the fuck. You give me money if you want to. If not, no worries. You can support other ways, like liking the stream. Yo, thank you for the 5, Navakva. I will never forgive that asshole Diorio for what he did to you. Turbo sensitive sellout. I think forgiveness is good. If you're bitter all the time, you end up like me. And that's not something you should want. It's not fun to be bitter.
That's when Rain decided to blast him, linking the private DMs. A few things to note. There isn't anything wrong with doing things strictly for business, but linking DMs for petty reasons such as these on a whim is really scummy. I asked Saucity for his...
Isn't Femio's also trans? Is that 2 trans people in one family? Yes. But that doesn't necessarily mean I think what you think it means. Because I know that for a fact that both of them are autistic. I don't know if they're twin. They're not twins, are they? Isn't it true that if you have... When it comes to something like homosexuality... Isn't it true that that there's a higher probability if one sibling is gay of another one being gay? I assume that for something like gender dysphoria, there might be something comparable there, although I'm not sure. But I know there's a heavy overlap between autism and gender dysphoria. Oh, they're not.
His official statement, and he said, I think it was incredibly immature and wasn't needed when referring to leaking the DMs. I wanted a working relationship, and I felt I made that clear from the start. They wanted an actual friendship, and I told them it wasn't in my best interest. It was blown out of proportion, and they were way too childish to be doing YouTube if they can't accept work relationships over
Why do I get asked this question like every other stream now? I'm not trans. I have no problem with trans people, but I'm not trans.
friendships. It's worth noting that Turkey Tom called Rain out on his bullshit at one point. It was after that that Rain spoke out and released a tweet saying he was leaving. He said,
Is he gonna play the victim again? Starting a sexist podcast called the Sex Cast. We also have sex, but that is unrelated. You looking for gas? So he tries to get in on the joke, or get in. Yeah, he tries to get in on the joke, and then, as a cool of a guest as Lou the Kitty would be, no, I don't think I will. Raintism. Lou the Kitty is the girl that he lied about raping him.
Turkey Tom called Rain out on his bullshit at one point. It was after that that Rain spoke out and released a tweet saying he was leaving.
I'm done being a fucking joke to everyone. I'm done being everyone's punching bag. I'm done accepting the fact that I'll never be taken seriously again. I'm done being in the commentary community. I'm fucking leaving. This guy was in his 20s. If you've ever had someone in your life I'm not saying he's a narcissist. I know he's a chronic attention seeker. I don't think he loves himself at all, right? I think that's why he does all this like overcompensatory behavior for attention, because he thinks he's inadequate, because he is. But if you ever dealt with like somebody who's legitimately narcissistic for in your life, this is like a favorite. You like genuinely criticize them over something they legitimately did wrong, and it's like, it's fine. I'll be the punching bag. I'll just be everyone's punching bag. It's fine. It's fine. I'll take no credit. It's fine. As if like by getting on them for what they decided to go do wrong is like somehow being unfair in this context.
He said many times that he was leaving both Twitter and the commentary community, and yet his words have made...
That would make a great clip. It just might. You can clip. If you clip me, I'll retweet it. I'll like, maybe even give you a follow. I know that means jack shit because I'm totally irrelevant, but clipping is what promotes this channel, helps it grow. Always be clipping. All you have to do in your tweet, you put breaking streamer at exiled Aiden says blank, does blank, whatever, and then the clip. It helps. Goes a long way.
But nothing, as he would come back time after time.
Dude. How many of these people do I remember? We've got Willie Mac Show. This guy was George Floyd Gaming. This person's name starts with an S. Leafy is here too. This guy's name was unironically Zog. Raintism. This guy was accused of rape as well. This guy was accused of being a pedophile. This is Silly Rally, Smeef, Wang. Don't remember that guy. Don't remember that guy. Don't remember that guy. Don't remember that guy. I remember him, but I don't know his name. Pyrocynical. That's not Rusty Cage. Some fucking furry. Oh, Just Jargon, I think his name was. Forget his fucking... We got Tommy, whose profile picture hasn't changed. A lot of these people, the profile pictures are... Oh, is that Lieutenant Mayhem? Gamer from Mars. Is that Domino? Muggy, Brain and a Cat, Colossal, Cordwood. This guy, also accused of being some sort of sex freak. Vexium. The whole lineup, man.
At this point, it's also important to note that the only two people who were still supporting him were Flex and Neon Mango. However, like
This guy died of cancer. I remember he did something really bad though before he died. So I forget what it was.
it's also important to note that the only two people who were still supporting him were Flex and Neon Mango.
Yeah, Flexecutive, I'm pretty sure was... Forget what he was like doing something fucked. I forget what it is. And then he just died of cancer.
However, like many others in Rain's past, the bridges would get burnt shortly afterward. Two people mentioned were friendly toward Rain and wanted to believe he wouldn't lie about something as serious as rape. Mango had began a relationship with another YouTuber, and Rain became very jealous of this. There was even a point that they were worried that Rain may dox their boyfriend. They reached a point that even the last two people who supported Rain were finally done with this bullshit. So at this point, Rain has lied about having a heart attack, leaked private DMs, lied about meeting, dating, being drugged, and taken advantage of.
Dude, a commentary starter pack. God, these are like badges.
What if I told you he's weaponized the threat of suicide on more than one occasion?
Has he? Oh, you mean to tell me that the guy who's told lies indicative of a manipulative fucking attention seeker with some serious pathological problems also uses suicide for attention? What?
Here in the tweet, Flex states that Rain sent such a message to Mango. And the message says, here's the question they have. What if I ended up getting...
Is Dumpy in chat? Bro be in some career-ending drama with somebody named Pizza Taco. True.
ending myself? What would you actually do? Not only did he do that in this situation, he also did it here in a message to someone else. Don't be surprised when I block all of them, and don't let them be surprised when I potentially kill myself. So at this point, he's taken and weaponized.
Didn't Goat Cato do this?
Don't be surprised when I block all of them, and don't let them be surprised when I potentially kill myself. So at this point, he's taken and weaponized the idea of taking his own life. Evidence had piled up, ensuring that Rain was obviously lying about his story. His story constantly changing made that very clear. The final nail in the coffin, however, was when his past friends were able to finally get him to admit to his lies on stream.
Is there anything else that you have done, lied about, scum through, you know, that sort of shit, that you haven't brought up that you would like to now? Because if it does come out later, it will be a lot worse.
Did people really call your house?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's real.
Okay.
Okay.
Surge Lad Flex scams.
Dude, Surge Lad is... Wait, is he online? Is he online? He actually is back. He's in my server. He's a Serbian. He's very, like, obnoxiously Serbian. And he is a Serbian... You'd be surprised. He's the most left-wing person in Serbia, which says a lot, because he's one of the most racist fucking people I've ever met. Who got timed out? Saul? I'm gonna have to demod you for that one, buddy. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I actually want to ask you something,
Sorry.
I don't hear, I have dozed off. You said that Leo to Katie raped you, but, you know.
Check DMs? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Dude, okay. What's his fucking name? It's like... Hold on. Did he left to avoid the ban? One sec. I'm handling this. Are you serious? What's the command to reset the end in Minecraft? Okay, I'll just when I get off, I'll just reset the end.
Never met. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
We only flirted in DMs.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Following that, he posted to Twitter admitting to his lies. Okay, a few things to note here. In his apology, he addresses the Lou Kitty rape allegations twice, but
Dog, shit is already getting fucked in the server. You guys don't need to be so fucking dramatic. It's handled. It's sorted.
he minimizes what actually happened. I mean, he briefly talks about it, and after that, I mean, he basically spends the rest of his apology talking about how he is like wronged others. There's no excuse for what I've done and have been doing. I've been lying to all of you for a long time now. I've lied about my heart attack back in March. I've lied about being taken advantage of by Lou the kitty. And I've messed up in so many ways to so many people, and I am deeply, deeply sorry to anyone I have hurt and betrayed this year. See, here he's saying he lied about being taken advantage of, when in reality, he lied about dating, meeting up, being...
Yeah, he lied about actually feeling the touch of a woman. So, you were being timed out for spam and being an annoying friend, for being an annoying friend of mine.
drugged. I mean, it's so more complex than like the way that he stated it. I've been a coward, and I've been manipulating people with sympathy to distract everyone from the drama I was dealing with at certain times, and I have no excuse for doing that. See, what he's saying here is that, like, I mean, he admits to lying.
Okay, we get the gist. So, we know about his history of lies. We know that these lies are indicative of an incredibly manipulative person who will lie just for the sake of attention, and his word cannot be trusted on literally anything. So if he's making any allegations, they need to stand for themselves. His word is not good enough. Now, I didn't know, because this was 5 years ago, that there's been developments. Hold on. There is... I guess he has made some progress since then. A month ago, somebody made a video called "The Weirdest Femboy Channel You've Ever Met."
Brother.
So, Raintism. For some of you that have not been around the commentary community very long and we're not back in...
Dude, he looks like the... Remember the meme? Hey, man, leave her alone. He looks so soy. Dude, if I was officiating that wedding, I would be laughing my fucking ass off. Like, we now pronounce you man. I would cut off after man. I would die.
Commentary.
Stars from Soul, can you untime out Soul Skibbity, please? He's cute and okay. Just take it. Just take the timeout and shut the fuck up. I didn't even ban your second account. Just stop being fucking annoying. Holy fuck. $5 from Niamda. Pity dono for Aiden. Total Soul Skibbity destruction. Pity dono? Are you giving me a fucking... Don't say it like that. But I appreciate it nonetheless. We're nearly halfway to stream goal.
Like around the A-star time of like 2020, 2021, 2022. That whole period of time, Raintism was a...
You need to be careful scrolling this account.
I'm not scrolling.
Wait, is that Spinling? Who is this guy? Why is Spinling here?
I'm not going to scroll it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to scroll
That's Wait, where did he come from? I didn't even know... How is he involved in this?
Trust me. Raintism is a spurg, a lolcow, a bit of a cuck, bit of a
He's a massive cuck.
He's just an absolute buffoon, absolute goofball, but not in the good way. Easy to make fun of. A lot of people made fun of Raintism.
True.
For a lot of good reasons. Rain cuck, that's exactly right. Like, this guy's just
Shall we
fucking
give, like,
awful.
what he's the most known for? Do you want me to talk about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't need that
Too bad for
summarized
Twitter
again.
e-girl to
Haha, yeah. My name is Raintiz.
go to VidCon with that.
Oh
man.
my god, I remember
That's-
that.
I-
too.
Wait! Wasn't he... Wait,
remember
There's
that
so
too.
much.
I know, there's
There's
so
so
much.
fucking much. It all comes to mind because I remember being like first-hand witness to this shit. The more serious one, just not funny. Well, it is funny, but it's just bad and fucked up. So Monkey Jones's girlfriend.
We already know
is-
about that.
Hold on. So, watching to the A-Star drama news stuff coming out, which is why I wanted to include both these.
Bruh, so glad I left the YouTube commentary community.
Things, but I should have gone back
What if it's been like 5 fucking years?
with it, but I was like, it'd be fun to separate it a little.
Thank you for the $2. G's.
But so Raintism released a tweet that said, "Bro, I'm so glad I left the YouTube commentary community. Fortunately, Spondyle was able to."
You know what? We actually let's actually get this my consultant here on stream. Is he gonna pick up the phone? I know his ass isn't fucking sleeping because he doesn't have a job. Dude, shut the fuck up. Oh my, you're so fucking annoying. Holy shit. G's with the 2. Free soul. I was fine letting your second account stay.
Get a screenshot of this because not long after they tweeted this, Hellfire reigned. That was a pun on words, and deleted the tweet. But that does not mean we did not get our laughs in chat. I tweeted out, "Didn't you fake a heart attack?" Dead Mean Frog tweeted out, "You left the commentary community because you faked a heart attack
51 likes too.
and a rape." Lol. Wait, is this Raintism? Yes. Mean Frog responded to the little owl. God, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Not to mention, it was Monkey Jones's girlfriend who looks like a rat. If I were to pretend I got raped, I'd at least say
It's
it
2
was some
a.m. I can't call in, Aiden. It's 2 in the morning. I have very important things to do tomorrow. Like, fuck you do. You're broke, unemployed, bitchless, friendless. You got fuck all to do tomorrow. Get on my stream, you little fucking shit.
someone hot, so I look like I kind of got a W. This True Spindling's out here dropping facts, you guys.
Yeah.
So
I
here we
don't know
go.
why I this myself.
I know yourself. He's so glad he left the commentary community to do the Femboy grift, just like A-Star did. I wonder what else Rain has in common with A-Star.
So A-Star, for those of you that don't know, known associate of John Swans, a guy who, as I said before, we convened the Justice League. Me and Fixed, Destiny, the whole crew got together to put the nail in the coffin. But A-Star was an associate of his, and I had known A-Star for my time as a kid. A-Star is now doing, I'm like, how long is he in prison for? Like 2 decades, right? Something longer than that. He was caught in a major sting in Nevada, and it was caught being in possession of CSAM, and he's now a sex offender for life as a result of that.
Great. It's a good question.
$2 from Cuppa.com ASMR. That Soul Skibbity guy seems cool. Why do you... Dude, shut the fuck up. Holy shit, it's so annoying. It's actually, like, driving me insane.
It's a good question. We got to ask it. Chat, we need to ask the hard-hitting questions. We need to ask the real questions.
Bang's
here.
desk.
Yes, Bang's desk. Haha, but okay. So that's pretty much all. Or he faked a rape. Dude was in my DMs on my old account acting sad about it. So yeah, everybody's getting their punches in. Everyone's raping. And then after Mean Frog makes his tweet, Raintism blocks him because...
And it took a while for him to do this, by the way.
Correct.
What is Cuppa.com? Go to channel. What is this?
He was really scared of blocking him.
He was very scared of him.
Shut the fuck. I'm literally in 2 seconds. Your account's gonna be perma'd, and your name's gonna be a banned word in my fucking chat. Shut the fuck up about Soul Skibbity.
I'd be scared of Dead Mean Frog too. The guy's got skeletons. Let's put it that way. Raintism, you deleting this tweet and blocking me does not
Are all of your chatters just just 3 of them?
change the fact you faked a heart attack and a rape. Lamau. What did I even do? Then this guy who was seen in... So that's how you know this individual was Raintism being the individual.
It was schizo-posting.
Was schizo-posting. I mean, they see, oh, they're going to block this person because they replied to Mean Frog's tweet, right? Hypothetically.
Well, he also
right.
blocked Matt. He has Matt.
He's apparently blocked me now, and I'm on a new account. I've never interacted with him on this new account. I don't know how he found it. Thank you for the $2 star. You know what? You know what? If we have 40 bucks, we make 60 more bucks and hit goal. Soul will be allowed back in.
Got, I mean, they're blocking everybody.
Sorry,
right?
I gotta be Jewish sometimes.
Right, this person is a fucking loser, and they're also a psychopath. So, I mean, it makes sense.
The psycho fucked up. I would suggest not to go to their account.
Yeah. I would definitely not scroll their Twitter feed. So anyway, so I wanted to pull up some tweets of this person.
Yeah, I made like 20 bucks, and YouTube takes it from 4 hours of streaming yesterday. I gotta make money somehow, man.
Just being fucking cringe and being fucking gay and being.
If I need to hold some British gay guy digitally hostage to do it, and that's what we'll do. Oh, jeez. That's 60 Canadian. That only brings us to 87, not 100. Sorry, man.
Raintism tweeted out November of this year, people who send unsolicited nudes to people without their consent are scum of the earth, in my opinion. This person has definitely sent nudes, by the way. I mean, just look at this account.
Oh, they swap.
Look at this account.
They be swapping.
This account has, I mean, this person is definitely, I mean,
but, jeez, that is immensely appreciated.
Tiny scroll. Do a tiny scroll.
Nope.
How much to keep him banned? You'd have to give me 60 Canadian, which is what an American, like 50 bucks. 50 bucks, he stays banned.
Nope. But so yeah, I mean, listen, Raintism saying they're lying right here. They're trying to deflect, trying to get all the attention off of them because they know what's coming.
But still, geez, much fucking appreciated, bro.
Know that everybody is just gonna rape the fuck out of them. All right. So then here's
Guys, he says it with such emphasis.
The other one, I think you sent this one to me, Spentling.
Yeah.
Talk about my harassment with Femboy Sandwich. I encourage you to watch this VOD. Go over. Femboy Sandwich is also just fucking weird.
What a gay ass name.
That's gay as fuck. So then this person quote tweeted and said, "Bro, shut the fuck up."
Your chat wants Soul Skibbity banned or unbanned. Okay, we're at. Okay, finally free Soul. I guess a deal's a deal. If to reban him, you'd have to donate more than G's, which would be 60, 70, 80 Canadian. So you'd have to probably give me what, like 70 something bucks USD. So Soul's unbanned. But I reserve the right to reban him if he doesn't shut the fuck up about his initial ban. Talk about the video, talk about Sling of Use, no whining, and you could stay. No spam. No unfunny one-guying. Thank you for the 5. Starfish.
You're a legit
So I looked
copycat.
into that guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Apparently they're like really big in the femboy, in quotate, pedophile community.
He's incredible. Sometimes he can be. Sometimes he is so fucking annoying. I want to like take an ice pick. I want to Trotsky myself. I want to take a fucking ice pick and drive it through my skull. Okay, talking about my harassment with Femboy Sandwich, I encourage you to watch this VOD. Wait, there's a VOD where he details the initial harassment? Wait, okay, let's go look at this. Because I want to figure out with the new shit, what the fuck is going on. I think he's making a video respond. I just want. What is this guy? If there was ever a Twitter account that screams, I was legitimately molested at one point in my life, it would be this one. What the fuck is this I've just got added in? Wait, hold on. We're getting sidetracked like fuck here. Touchy Tommy has apparently spoken about me in a new raw recording.
He thinks he's gonna fucking get his ass out of it. He's already burnt every fucking bridge. Everybody knows who he is on the on the same sort of streaming left-wing streamers. They're not going to mess with him because the way he interacted with other left-wing streamers.
What does he have to run to? Back to Destiny?
Yeah.
He's talking about.
Oh God, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest. It would be years from now, but believe me, that's all. What do you think? Queeman and J-Stock are different than Aiden? Aiden just doesn't know how to hide it. It really summed them up perfectly.
Why am I like the new Hitler? In like these, like you're comparing, dude, you're like Aiden right now. You're like Aiden. You're worse than Aiden right now. Dude, it's so cool. It's actually so cool. This community that engages in bullying, harassment, degeneracy of the highest proportions, yet I harass one little wife, and everybody loses their minds. Okay, I'm like the new Hitler over here, man, to these people.
They all went to London. Aiden didn't know to wear nice clothes. They knew to be phonies and wrap themselves and be something they weren't for a second. Wrap themselves and knew to be phonies and wear nice clothes. They knew to
I didn't know to wear nice clothes. My clothes are nice. This is Fred Perry.
Phonies and wrap themselves and be something they weren't for a second. Aiden just didn't know to do that.
At least know that.
Give it a this isn't funny, my guy. This isn't funny, my guy. Why, too soon?
Yeah, there's a social interacting going on. He doesn't know what that is.
He thinks he's gonna.
I don't know what. True. I actually don't know what social interaction is. Your gay leather jackets are not cool. Wow. Wow. I'm hurt. I'm hurt right now. Where it... Okay, hold on. What we were just doing. Shut the fuck up, you're... Okay. Rainy Kingpin talking about my harassment. This is from November of the 13th. Thoughts on British fashion? It's fine. Their clothes fit better. I got some nice shirts from England. Slime this unk out right now? What is that? What can I possibly say about Tommy? It's like he literally doesn't know what's happening anymore. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. I would be surprised if the London drama, he doesn't know what he probably has like absolutely no knowledge of what happened at all. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know. I don't know. It's literally I have enough of a hard of a time with, you know, regular intelligent people just like believing in misconceptions and shit, to have to deal with Tommy, who somehow has this like impressive ability to get everything wrong ever, is just like exhausting. I mean, if it was the old Aiden from months ago, I'd be watching his full VOD, going through every misconception and shit. I just don't have that fire. So I was from Soul Skibbity. You wore leather jacket and leather gloves. I did. Or you're really good at like this observing and naming thing. When you see a school bus go by, do you say, that's yellow? Very good, Soul. Very good. All right. Talking about my harassment with Femboy Sandwich. I don't think he's delusional. I think he's just really stupid. He is stupid, and he is confident in his own belief, and those combinations make for somebody who it's very easy to A-log, because he's completely unself-aware about his own lack of intelligence, and he believes that his own interpretation of what's really going on, he's stubborn about it, he sits in it, and it's immovable. You can't move him on that position. He'll cite it dogmatically, and by the time it comes out that he isn't correct, he'll pretend like he somehow either was still proven correct or the original prediction. He'll just revise that in its entirety, which is why he's tried to portray this sort of like Nostradamus-like fucking image of the guy that just always gets predictions right. Most of his predictions have been wrong. Most of his predictions have been wrong. Okay. Aiden, you clearly aren't enjoying streaming. Why are you doing it? Because what else am I what else am I gonna fucking do with my life, Soul? What else am I gonna do? Go get a different hobby? Yeah, I'm gonna start crocheting. Okay. Don't know how route. Okay, let's get on track here. Advanced search. At Rainy Kingpin. Talking about my harassment. This phrase. Oh, of course it's double typing again, so it's a pain in the fucking ass. And then remove that, and then search. Oh, I double typed the R. I'm actually all over the place, aren't I? Alright, there we go. Oh, and I guess it's gone. I guess it just isn't there, the original tweet. I guess he just took it down.
So like he used to do this all the time. He used to fucking start shit with people because like he can't get views, so he would like start drama.
So that he could hopefully get some attention off of that, and it never fucking worked.
All the time.
Oh.
And he's looks like he's doing the grift here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Aiden, you do know who's involved in this drama, right? Yeah, you missed my preamble. I told the whole lore. The lore about the poop smearing incident, the lore about... I went through all of that at the beginning. I know who this is.
Okay. So they said, bro, shut the fuck up. You're a legit copycat nobody who wants to start drama for likes and views. Or you're a legit copycat nobody who starts drama for likes and views. People like you put a stain on the femboy community.
Oh my, dude, Wendy named himself on Minecraft 0x7QZ9LPV0 underscore RF underscore RF2AK. So I can't fucking ban him. Are you fucking serious? I gotta admit, it's creative. / ban. Are you serious? Zero X. I fucking hate my life. Z9L PV0 underscore RF2AK. I want you to say I mistyped it. There we go. Did it. Okay. That's good. That is very good. Okay. Check inbox. The tweet is in there. Wait. So he made a VOD talking about it. It's 2 hours long? Okay, so these are the original allegations. We're gonna skim through this. Truly, dude, look at him. Look at him. How do you not like? How are you supposed to take this person seriously as like a human being? What the fuck is that? Can you imagine, like, you guys have never seen my face before, and I'm starting a stream, and it's just this?
Headphones are working too. I'm not sure. Let me
love that shit. This angle, if you've like that weak of a chin, you need a much better fucking angle than that.
Let me play something real quick.
So
Alright, yeah, it's working.
I love how it's been 5 years and he still hasn't aged, like physically at all.
I just went to a YouTube video and stuff. I can hear you. You can hear? Okay.
Like he legitimately looks like a lesbian you'd meet in like a book club or something. And you'd mistake them maybe for a young man, and then they'd have to angrily educate you that they have some condition that caused them to have short hair.
Okay. I probably need a few minutes to like kind of let myself breathe and stuff, because
So
I'm
then
like,
why would you start the stream then?
really anxious to like talk about this and stuff, but it's like
He looks nothing like me, you fucking blind cunt. I have a strong jawline. I have a strong chin line. Listen, I have faults in other areas, but I look nothing like this.
I've been putting up with this for like far too long, and it makes me so nervous to even bring this up, because like
I'm a victim.
God, because there's been so many times where we were both told to like mind our business and just to go our separate ways and stuff, but like he wouldn't leave me alone, and I tried to mind my own business and stuff, but like he wouldn't like let me be. So, and it would result.
Literally one person in chat. There is one person in chat. Who the fuck are you talking to? I would not like. If I had one person in chat, I'd be talking about a trending subject. I would never be talking about myself to one person in chat.
Result into, you know, more harassment and spreading like lies and shit to like people who
Gotta
I
love the Chad posture.
was like friends with and like were peers with and stuff, like other streamers and stuff, to try and get.
Listen, ladies, I gotta ask a question. When you picture your like ideal man, does anything like this come to mind out of curiosity? I'm just like, I need like a woman's perspective on this to figure out how the fuck this guy got married. Like, is this what you're into? I don't know.
More hate on to me.
Aiden talking. You're right. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta be up straight. You're right.
You know, so like it feels like whatever I do, I'm always gonna end up really hurt.
Like if you like, he also looks like simultaneously like some dude named like fucking Carl with a K that works behind the desk at like some, I don't know, fucking Circle K, and like wants to kill himself. It just looks like he wants to kill himself and hates his job.
About this, and it's always gonna stress me out, because if I don't say anything, I mind my own business, then this is gonna be a repeating issue that's never gonna get solved. But if I talk about this right now, then like there's a high chance like I'm just making a fool out of myself and I'm taking his rage bait.
Holy fuck, get into it, you insufferable attention-seeking fuck.
And stuff, and I'm still gonna end up hurt about this. But I've thought about this again and again and again and again today, because I feel at the end of it, people should know the truth about
We're ready.
him, about
Speak your truth. Speak your truth, Queen.
I've been through, what about my wife has been through, you know, some of his former friends, you know, have putting them up with this. So like that's where I'm at right now. So it's damned if I do, damned if I don't type of situation.
So yeah, he is lying to you. He's trying to fucking do the unfunniest one guy attempt in history. Where's the femboy drama? It's this. This femboy, this guy is a femboy who's married to a woman. I have a history with him, making fun of him after he used to be in the commentary community, made up some strange lie about him having sex with some YouTuber's ex. Turns out he never had sex, and when people figured out the inconsistencies, he then lied that he was drugged and raped, and by attacking him over the story, you're attacking a rape victim, which was also a lie. He's never met this person. IRL. Ever. I don't even know. As far as I know, there was no confirmation they've even spoken online. And when he was called a simp over a different situation, he faked a heart attack and lied and said he was in the hospital. He loves to play the victim. He loves to get attention and sympathy. Do not let his appearance fool you. At this point, he's probably nearly 30, isn't he? How old is he, Cam? Like, back then, he was in his fucking 20s. People, like, think, oh, it's just some dumb, awkward kid online. He wasn't a kid.
Situation and stuff, but,
Now, fast forward to today, because what I'm describing to you was about 5 years ago. Fast forward to today, he's gotten a following on Twitter for posting, like, Femboy images, which are the most, like, degenerate, like, unfortunately, of the course of researching these allegations, my eyes were forced to witness the account, and it's completely degenerate. But there's another femboy that he's accusing of running a doxing community, something I know a lot about. Am I right, guys? Am I right? Doxy chat for life. But also that this person sexually harassed his wife and had sent unsolicited nudes to her.
I'm gonna just let myself breathe real quick to kind of like think about how to like start this and stuff, because I don't know where to start, because it's like, if I...
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please like up. It lets me know that you're a real person out there, and goes a long way. You can also tip if you enjoy. Streamlabs, Super Chats, follow me on Kick, all that good stuff.
Start at like the very beginning and stuff. It's gonna get too convoluted, because it's already a long, like...
So this is where the allegations start.
Situation to try to like talk about, you know? So it's like I'm trying to like figure out like where to start this, you know, because it started before he made his Google Doc on me back in February and stuff. It's better to say something than nothing, because as long as you're telling the truth, you'll be fine.
Wait, so there was an initial Google Doc from like a year prior?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. But it's like, because I've been getting a lot of conflicted like opinions on this, because I want to tell the truth. I have all the evidence.
This guy accused Cam of doxing his wife. It's funny as fuck. Did he actually? Okay, if you know something about this guy that I'm missing, send it to me. We're going down all the rabbit holes, okay? Send it to me. Did he actually... Do you want to call in, Infixed? Do you want to call in? Because the two of you were friends, and you might be able to attest to some of those.
Too, you know, I've like I've like made a folder, collected like all the receipts and all that stuff, right? But if I don't say anything, you know, then it's this issue.
Why do I remember this about him? I feel like this is the guy. Unironically, I'm not even making this up, and I don't know why I remember this. I'm pretty sure he only drinks like Coca-Cola, if I remember correctly. Unless I'm completely confused with someone else. He like doesn't drink water. Is this the same guy? Dude, there's somebody, for some reason I'm thinking it is. Like, those people are so fascinating. I don't know how the fuck they're alive. There are people that don't drink water. It's like, how the fuck are you? How are you like a living, breathing human being?
He's never gonna get solved. You know what I mean? Everybody goes through something tough. Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of the other guy who... 16, 17-year-old me was called into the Bo Blacks VC to handle a situation where somebody had been in the Bo Blacks VC for 2 days, and they were refusing to shower. I got called in like it was a hostage situation, and I came in to try to convince them and debate them into taking a fucking shower.
So,
thank you for the 2, Soul. You want to go down this guy's rabbit hole? A good one.
Here's what I think I'm gonna do, and if anybody like comes in late, I'll make this message. Hold on a sec.
This is like the type of person that I'd imagine working in the DMV.
And then you can watch the whole thing to get the full context. You know what I mean? so you're not missing anything, you know.
You're in call-ins? Okay, we'll have him fix call-in. He's a former friend of Rain's. I don't have. When was the last time I was in VC with this? Is this the first time we've been in VC? And yeah, I don't remember. And fixed.
Hello.
Hi. Do you like the direction your former friend has gone?
Why the fuck's this speak? I'm on my phone right now, so my audio's like shit. That's why.
It's okay. So
okay, so you want to talk about my former top guy, right?
Yeah, your former top guy. Tell us all the embarrassing details.
There's a lot that like go off my head about. Someone in the chat mentioned the doxing accusation. That is something that happened. So basically, back in like 2020, I think it was 2022. I was playing like both sides. I was friends with fucking Neon Caffeine and Raintism, and obviously they were like
the rape crew.
Yeah, sure. So basically, Raintism is dating someone called Dawn.
Got it.
And yeah, Dawn's the person that they like married to. They're a transgender woman for those in the audience that are curious, who care.
Got it. Wait, what was that last part? Wait, what was the last part you said after the trans woman part?
It's like for those in the audience who actually like give a shit.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Your accent. If I don't hear a northerner for a long fucking, it is hard to understand you guys sometimes.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Right.
But anyway, for whatever reason, this Dawn person was in a group chat with Mango and a person called Enrique. So I sent I don't know if do you know who Enrique is? So we're like Raintism's like insane like deranged ex-friend that they went to high school with.
No.
Okay, well he plays like a big part in this. So basically, I sent Dawn's Discord tag to Neon Caffeine, and then 2 weeks later, Enrique sends a photo of Raintism's house to him.
To Neon Caffeine or to Raintism?
No, to Raintism.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow that gets attributed to me sending Dawn's Discord tag to fucking to Neon Caffeine.
That's retarded.
No, I don't know about you, but that's a very logical.
Okay.
That's a very logical leap.
So just run through this. You were friends with this guy. He's got like a friend.
I was friends with him.
Yeah. He's got a friend from school that's deranged. We have Neon Caffeine. It was a whole page of lore about themselves. So he used to be like Rain's like podcast co-host. Rain has a wife.
Yes.
You send the wife's Discord tag to Enrique. 2 weeks later.
No, to Mango.
To Mango. Then 2 weeks later, Enrique takes a photo of his house and sends it to him. And so therefore you doxed him because somebody else
basically
took a photo of his house.
Yes, basically.
That makes a lot of sense.
I know, I agree. I'm basically you now. We need to be like best friends again.
Yeah, the doxing crew.
Yeah, exactly. We need to start this shit again. We need to get Brandon Buckingham in. Fiorio.
No, because they haven't done it to wives. This is the spousal doxing crew.
Shit, you got me.
when you and Parenti,
he's just like a bitch, really. That's like there isn't really like that much to him. He's just like really easy to get under the skin of. There was this woman from Scotland who he was like really infatuated with, despite being in a committed relationship and living with this person.
I cannot think of an accent more unattractive on a woman than a Scottish accent.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But for some reason, he was like really infatuated with them. So what I would do is I'd make interesting remarks about this Scottish woman. Granted, it was rather weird of me to do, but I did it for the sole purpose of rage baiting Raintism, and it would work almost every time. It was like it was like a really easy method.
Interesting.
And obviously, he was around during the during the poop smearing incident. That didn't happen. And
well, who knows? I
surprisingly,
saw photographic
he
evidence.
wasn't the one that cried.
It was
He wasn't
Robin.
the
It was
one that
Robin
cried.
Gorby. Yeah, I know.
It was It was Robin Gorby.
Yeah. Yeah, we went over that.
Honestly,
in the,
Robin
preamble.
Gorby is probably more interesting because he had some like weird he had some weird like penchant for like making everything about himself.
Yeah, I
like would be having like a serious conversation.
How old is Rain, by the way?
something.
Wait, how old is Rain?
I think he's like 27, turning 28.
So when all the main drama was going down, he's older than I am now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
pretty
sad.
much. It's kind of funny.
Well, I'm
because he was like 23 the last time I spoke to him.
Yeah. He seems to just never age. All right. Well, I'm
No,
gonna get back
yeah.
to this. Thanks for the call, bro. Best of
All
luck.
good.
Invite me to the
fun.
wedding when you two
Enjoy
get
the
when
stream.
you and Parenti get married.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk about that.
Thanks.
Okay. Good.
I hope dude, how awkward would it be if they just broke up? If they just broke up? I'm like, invite me to the wedding, man. Is it okay? I hope I didn't overstep on that one. Anyways, let's get back into this.
Honestly, you always want to find the right time to say something, because if you...
I just want to be invited to a wedding. I haven't been to one in so long. So like anytime I know someone who's in a relationship with someone else, I'm like, when you get married, can you like please invite me to the wedding? Can you please let me go to the wedding? Oh, you're still together. Okay. Because the way he said that at the end made it sound like you broke up. And he's like, we'll talk about that one. I was like, dude, that would be so awkward.
Say it too fast, you'll get mixed up, and honestly, go at your own pace. I appreciate you for being understanding. I appreciate, I always miss shit. Okay, thank you. Well,
listen, people, invite me to your weddings. I may legit show up. I'll play it cool. I'll act like I'm just some guy that met you once at like a fucking Starbucks, and you promised you'd let me go to your wedding, and now I'm here.
You didn't miss anything yet. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm trying to collect my thoughts so I can go at this at a reasonable pace. So I'm not like, this is already an irrational decision that I'm making, but like, I want to like, I don't want to say be professional about it, but just like go at it at a pace. You know what I mean? At a reasonable pace. So, I guess I shall start here.
So this is where it begins. Can we roll the total or the URR intro? The unfunny URR intro that's like still a thing? Well, I didn't mean to fuck. Aiden going to Australia? I'd do it. It's on my list. My mom went there. She loved it. She said it's her favorite place she's ever been to. I was like, I know it's cool. I didn't think it was like that cool.
Display capture. I'll get this. So if I mute this, there's all the get this. So if I mute this,
if you have a folder, you shouldn't title a folder on your computer unsolicited nudes. That's a horrible look. I know why he did it, because he's alleging that the Sammy person had sent him these nudes. But that's not a good look.
there's all the folders. Okay. All right, then we'll just go on off of this screen and stuff. I will zoom it in.
Oh, he wrote a document.
A bit more. I don't know if I should use a text-to-speech thing, because it's like, if I feel like, if I
you're on a stream, why don't you just fucking read it? If you have to actually write a script, like what you could do is, you could do, what is it, extemporaneous speaking? I forget the word for it, but like, how I was, because I took a public speaking class, how I was taught to do it is, you don't write out everything you're gonna say. You could just like I would make like little bullet points on my hand if I was talking about something really important, and would, you know, that would be little excerpts of a script that I've repeatedly read down before I do it. Why? Okay.
This whole thing.
Dude, Do not look at Raintism's alt account. Biggest mistake of my life. I saw his main. If it's any fucking worse than that, I could not fathom. I can't fathom how.
I'm just gonna get very lightheaded because I'm already like
And bear in
anxious
mind,
and like.
I've heard very, very, very good arguments that there is some pedophilic aspects to the femboy community. Now, some people like out of a standpoint of homophobia like to brand a lot of gay shit as like pedophilic adjacent, like twanks. I don't think twink shit is pedophilic. It's just like fun, like it's just like the I've explained it like men, for example, in general, find younger women attractive. Not young, like not kid women, but like 20s, women in their 20s and shit. So like the translation for gay men, I assume it's comparable in a sense of, I don't know what brain mechanism makes you gay or whatever, but the sort of like twink-like appearance or whatever is like early 20s, which is the same shit that heterosexual men like.
Like breathing out of my chest like a lot.
There's a video of a what? Excuse me? You're joking. You're actually joking, aren't you? I'm never gonna. Dude, when I was a kid, I used to go pumpkin picking on Halloween. And we'd make like a jack-o'-lantern, and I'd treat him like he was my friend. I'd make a little happy face, and I'd talk to him and shit until he rotted. I'm never looking at a pumpkin the same way again. What the fuck? Dude, when I was a kid, I had a pumpkin as a friend, and I had a pet rock. I had a pet rock. I called him Rocky.
To begin with? Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm sorry. I forgot to turn all this off. Excuse me.
I'm in call-ins. Who the fuck are you? Hello?
Hey, Aiden. So, I have some news to share about why it is that he had sexual intercourse with the pumpkin.
Please, explain.
So, it's gonna put me in a really awkward spot to share this, but I assure you, it is not for my own enjoyment or entertainment that I found this out, okay?
Okay.
But apparently, at some point, some trans porn star had sex with a pumpkin for Halloween. I don't know why, but then it became like a trend for like femboys and trans people to fuck pumpkins. Now, I don't know the specifics. I just know that's something that was a trend for a while. I know you may be in shock, hearing this, but yeah, it's pretty bizarre. I just thought that was probably something that would provide some valuable insight into, why someone would think about doing that.
Thank you for the insight. You're our in-house trans pumpkin sex expert? How do you know this?
Sure. I could. Well, believe it or not, I know some, I'd consider them more like the AGP types, where they're like, trans people, but it seems to be more of a fetish for them. And those were some of my friends for a while. I don't really talk to them anymore, but I mean, they ended up sharing it with me, and I was about as horrified as you were.
Fair enough.
Like a year or two ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah.
We're not even at the beginning yet. Believe it or not, we're 2 hours into this. We are not even at the beginning. And we're already talking about people fucking pumpkins. What the hell is going on? What is this subset of the internet? In what just society? You know what? I've got vulgarity laws or obscenity laws you know, I'm like, that sounds like an attack on freedom of speech or free expression or whatever. But right now, it's like, sign me the fuck up, bro. Sign me up.
Yeah, no, I want to turn all this off, turn all this off. Yeah. Where's the... There we go. Sorry. I didn't mean to leave that on. I forgot to turn all that off. My bad. Take your time and do some deep breathing.
Brings a whole new meaning to smashing pumpkins.
If you need to, thank you. I'm having deja vu of myself. Probably not the great to use TTS.
Do you think he had Bullet with butterfly wings playing in the background?
Yes, just use the doc as a reference for each one of your points. Well, no, I was gonna read the whole doc, but like, I don't know if like I should read.
Do not open Aiden's stream on a family computer. Worst mistake ever. Well, I'm sitting here. It's like 12 a.m. on a fucking on a Monday, and it's like Femboy's fucking pumpkins. When I was like a kid, I'm like, I'm gonna be at college parties and shit, bro. I'm gonna be at college parties. Holy fuck.
Read it and get myself lightheaded, or just have a TTS bot just read it out for me. But I was gonna read the whole thing, like regardless.
Yeah,
so
just fucking read it. It has literally been 4 minutes of you talking about how you're gonna figure out how to read those. Do I use text to speech? Is this guy like, does he not know how to read? Is he like illiterate? It sounds like he's like secretly illiterate and is coming up with like every excuse not to read.
Not missing any of the context. Because at least if I use the TTS to like have it read it for me, then like it'll give me...
I do not like where his other hand is positioned right now.
A minute to kind of like collect myself and catch my breath.
Catch your breath and collect yourself. That is a horrible thing to say with your hand in that position, buddy.
You know? But if you want me to read it, that's fine. I'll just...
Hands up! We are not taking any chances. Hands up!
I'll just go at my own pace and read it and stuff. So, context. This was a Google Doc that's Femboy Sandwich made about me back in the Google Doc. It's not. No, it's only a page and a half. It's only like 2 pages. But regardless, this was a doc he made about me back on Valentine's Day of this year, back in February of this year. The reason for this happening was because a couple of days prior, or a week prior to this, Sandwich...
Do you think his wife dominates? Yeah, absolutely. Yes. 150%. Yes. Because I'm trying to figure it out, like, why is a fucking femboy in a relationship with married to, and then it's, oh, okay, this is, I'm starting to get more sense of, like, the dynamics going on in their marriage.
Was suspended.
I've seen what videos? She does, and there's video of... I'm sorry. This guy is nearly 30. He's been driven out of the commentary community for lying about being raped and having a heart attack. He's married some, like, trans gooner, and there are videos up online of him fucking a pumpkin and him getting dominated by his trans wife. What the actual fuck is going on, dude? What am I covering? What am I covering?
On Twitch. Had his Twitch account suspended for, I believe, a whole week. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I keep listing it because I'm trying to fucking make sense of it. I don't like...
But from what I remembered at the time, he was still doing his thigh cam stream, which he would have the webcam pointed at his lap and thighs while maintaining a 16+ audience. So there were several minors in his streams at the time. This was...
Okay, just to be fair here, if you're publicly a femboy, you should absolutely not have any fucking minors in your community, right? That's obviously a no-go. But that is different that is different than having streams that allow minors in them where you are showing sexual content. When he says a thigh cam, was it just the angle of the camera showed this person's thighs, or was this like a purposeful decision? Like, you wouldn't call my streams a torso stream because you could see my like torso or whatever, right? So you have to be very careful with Rain's wording because he is a super fucking manipulative freak.
Shortly before he switched it to 18 plus safe for work, he was still wanting to be 16 plus. So there was minors coming into his stream. Sorry, there was minors coming into his stream.
Disgusting. Also, how old is this Sammy person as well?
While the webcam's just pointed at his thighs and lap the whole time. That's what I remembered.
Okay, if it was like this, if it was literally like this, that doesn't inherently have to be a purposeful sexual decision. That doesn't have to be a purposeful sexual decision. So we need like specifics here, and whenever somebody doesn't get into specifics, especially a known manipulator and liar, right, you have to be very careful.
Webcam's just pointed at his thighs and lap the whole time.
Like, if he was just sitting like this, like how he's sitting right here, that literally could just be how he sits on stream. That could literally just be how he sits on stream. I would have to see it to understand if this was an intentional decision or not. Also, I'd like to know how old this person is.
While the webcam's just pointed at his thighs and lap the whole time. That's what I remembered. So, what was it? There was the issues with Sandwich and I were getting a little bit public during this time because I will say I will be kind of like tuning out chat a bit, so I'm gonna be facing this way and stuff. So if you say something I don't catch it, I'll come back later, you know. Because during this time, Sandwich and I were having back and forths on Twitter because his account was getting suspended. I'll admit, I made a tweet, you know, like about it, talking about it and stuff, which was, I'm gonna fully take responsibility and say that was unprofessional of me.
Unprofessional. There's a video online, sir, of you fucking a pumpkin. What the fuck do you mean unprofessional? What about your present existence is like professional? And it makes me, do you see those two little bowls down there? They have a dog or a cat. They have a dog or a cat. I am terrified for whatever fucking animal is living in this disgusting household. Can you imagine if we like shine a blue light in that fucking apartment? It'd be like glow in the dark. The walls would like light up.
At the time and stuff, because like I remembered the issue being it was not just me telling
Waiting for the pumpkins in my experiences. I used to be an innocent pumpkin sitting in a patch. And then
him this, but it was two of his former mods too, which was Pink Sakura and Ito.
Pedophile. Whoa, didn't mean to.
And Mintley at the time too, who were both of his former moderators, his Twitch mods at the time, who told him straight up to his face that
Jimmy, are you okay? Jimmy says, I'd get a piece of that, yum. I think covering the Unk CC is doing like damage to your brain. What is going on?
With the content that he was making with this lap thigh cam stream, while trying to maintain a 16 plus audience, was not going to work because, you know, his account was going to get reported and suspended for that. He chose to ignore them and continue with the 16 plus, you know, branding of this. It bit him in the ass and he got suspended for a week. And then I made a I told you so tweet talking about it, which was just a GIF, you know. I can't remember which GIF it was. I think it may have been the Kendrick at the Super Bowl, because that was like really hot during that time. So it may have been that, but regardless though, yeah, I did laugh about it because A, I did think it was funny because it was a I told you so situation. B, I do take accountability and admit fault about how unprofessional that was. So I want to say I'll take the L, but like.
Thank you. The femboy, the pumpkin fucking femboy getting dominated by his trans wife online all day wants to talk to us about professionalism.
I will take fault for that. I will take accountability. I shouldn't have made the tweet. which led to this. And I feel like a lot of this situation, before I even talk about it, a lot of it stems from us trying to rage bait each other on Twitter. I'm guilty of trying to rage bait him. He will not admit it, but I do have, receipts of him actively trying to rage bait me on Twitter as well too. And
I have proof that this guy was attempting to rage bait me on Twitter.com. Why would anyone care? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? You're nearly 30.
Yes, today's stream is the result of that. Because if you aren't aware, he is still spreading a serious accusation, lie, and rumor about me to not only his audience, but to other streamers as well too. Some of them being former friends of mine, in which they ended up blocking me because of it. So right now is at the point where I'm wanting to clear up everything about this, to clear my name, and to show you exactly the type of person that Femboy Sandwich is. All right, I would have kept quiet about this.
All right, we're getting into this. So Femboy Sandwich comes out with the response doc to Rain. This supposedly is the stream that started it all after. Okay, so Femboy Sandwich releases a doc on Rain. Rain makes this response stream. Then there was the response that we just read after Rain kept tweeting about them, and that like blew up into this present drama.
Because we talked to a bigger streamer back in March or April about this situation, and their suggestion was to prevent this from getting any bigger, we both go our separate ways and mind our own business. We block each other. That's the end of that. We both go. Over time, I have been receiving harassment. Sorry, my voice cracked. I've been receiving harassment, and it's hard to use this word, but just bullying, lies, and manipulation on Sammy's end, not just from his audience, but from him as well too. It is a very, very petty thing that his behavior has become very petty. Within the past several months, this issue has been going on for a year now. I'll be in the back banning anyone who causes problems. Thank you, Bose. Thank you, Bose. And slander too. Yeah, slander. Thank you. I have been receiving harassment, slander, just lies spread about me from Sandwich's end, not just from his audience.
Nobody needs to slander you. Nobody, when you're as big of a fucking loser with as many like career-ending controversies as this guy, what would be the motive in slandering you? You literally just need to do this and then point to the myriad of videos and tweets about this guy's pathetic fucking online history.
Not just from his friends, but by himself as well. And today, I want to go over everything, even on his end too, which we're starting by reading his Google Doc. So I'm not missing anything. There is nothing to leave out during this whole situation. You're not missing any context. You're not, I'm not trying to be deliberate or malicious with this whole thing.
Just fucking get into it. Oh my god.
Back to this Google Doc.
No, he is the Coke guy. Dude, why do I remember that? Remember I was saying earlier in this stream, why do I remember him only drinking Coke and not water?
Give me minutes.
Dude, yes, I was right. You tried to gaslight me that this wasn't the fucking guy. This was the guy. He only drinks Coca-Cola. He doesn't drink water. No wonder you have to smack your lips every 2 seconds like a fucking retard. Because you're just drinking sugar. With no water. That is a giant glass of Coke.
Back to this Google Doc. This Google Doc.
That's like 3 days worth of like the added sugar recommendation for a grown man.
Was made Valentine's Day of this year. This was the result of this was because my friend Rel, who I think I met around during this time, I believe. I could be getting it wrong though. It was around early this year is when I met Rel. Talked to me about the sandwich situation because she saw me, Sandwich and I back and forth on Twitter during this time and stuff. She asked me about the context of this. I gave her the proof and evidence about what he's done to me, my wife, and 2 of his former mods, which we will get into today, which is the really trigger warning parts for people that, So I gave all that. Rel, I think the next day or like a day or two, like that week, made a stream talking about the, all this. Even, I believe, showed evidence as well, too. I'm not sure. But Rel talked about this whole situation on stream. And I will cover Rel's side of it, too, because she received harassment during that stream from, I believe, 2 of Sandwich's moderators during that. And I do have the screenshots to talk about that. As well as, I don't want to be 100% sure.
Oh, my God.
But there is a weird Twitch account during...
Can you just get into it? What the fuck is that?
I'm going off of another subject. Let me know. Okay. So this Google Doc right here. This was made in result of what...
He's still explaining. Read the doc.
Rel talked about on her stream about the whole situation. Hi everyone. I want to thank you for the support as my first year of streaming is coming up. My main goal on the internet is to spread positivity and have a Twitch community where people support and lift each other up. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that line, okay? Because that promise right there is going to get disproven today. This is the main issue that I have with Sandwich.
Debunked?
They brand themselves as someone who wants to spread positivity on the internet and have a supportive Twitch community, that could lift
Voice
people up.
crack at 30.
And he has not been doing a good job at keeping that promise. That's one of the issues I have. Through the amazing viewers and streamers I've met, I believe I made an awesome and wholesome community. I cherish the Sandwich family wholeheartedly.
Community?
This post is my response to the negativity I've been receiving from certain people in the Femboy space this month. I want to clear the air. I am not here to change anybody's mind, opinion.
I think I made a wholesome community. It talks about their involvement in the fucking femboy space. What about that, like, screams? What about that tease screams wholesome? Wholesome family content.
On the implied individuals. I would like to explain my side of the story
By the way,
because they have been trying
if you're watching, like the fuck up. Like up. Only a third of people, my top soldiers, like the fucking stream. Like the stream.
cancel me, and I have been trying my best to not let it get to me. I do not encourage or condone the spread of hate in my defense or on my behalf. Please respect everyone involved. Thank you. I would like to also tell you this too. So that's why I don't see them in my feed. Good thing I haven't followed them. Yeah, this is why I also want to tell you guys too. Because I have issues with Femboy Sandwich does not mean you have to go and harass them. I do not condone that. If I do,
my god, he's still doing the...
and impacting my mental health.
You know what? I'll just read it. I'll just read it. For those of you who do not know, I made my SFW account. I had an SFW account. I decided to delete my NSFW account because the attention I was getting was disturbing and impacting my mental health. After I switched to being SFW only, I've been able to express myself in genuine ways and be more positive. The upward trend continued with rapid growth of my channel, socials, and community. Sadly, with ups, there comes downs. Drama soon caught up to me as I grew. I've met and interacted with toxic individuals that I decided to part ways with because of how uncomfortable they made me feel. Lately, people have been spinning a narrative that has been attacking my character and only explaining half the story. One person in particular has publicly expressed that they've been hurt by the things I've said to them. The things I said to them are true, and it takes a lot to get me, a happy-go-lucky person, to reach a boiling point like that. This person in particular mentally manipulated me into being their friend. I met them when I was creating NSFW content. When I decided to go SFW, they said I changed for the worst. I'm not joking. That right there gave me all the reason I needed to separate myself from this individual entirely. Below are more examples of things they did to make me feel uncomfortable that led to our falling out. Called me their best friend, which made me uncomfortable because I've only known them on the internet for a couple of months. That's not necessarily purposeful manipulation. That's just a fucking loser. Asked me to visit them to make NSFW content even though they were in a committed relationship. Asked me for explicit images before I posted them / exclusive images, sexually harassing me. Said they were jealous of me hanging out around other friends and not spending enough time with them. Copying my content, captions, and posts. They still do this after we split, by the way. Spoke negatively about others and played the victim in every falling out with them. That's consistent with the Raintism's pattern of behavior. Spoke negative. Okay, so it sounds like Raintism was into this person despite being married. They had this like weird friendship going, and then they come out, they accuse Raintism of various things, including sexual harassment, and now we go to the present day, where it seems like Raintism is now countering that by accusing them of sexual harassment.
On the internet for a couple months. I wouldn't call them, I'd never call them a best friend. I never ever did. I called him a close friend because we hung out every single day. And he would invite me on his streams all the time. And he would invite me to hang out with him in VC all the time, as well as I did. So at the time, I considered him a close friend. I never once called him a best friend. As if like that was like a bad thing, you know? But whatever, that's, whatever. The people are different, right? I never called that. Asked me to visit them to make ancillary content, even though they were in a committed relationship. That right there is heavy. Sandwich knew that I'm married to Flora, and I will admit right now on stream, we are in an open relationship.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Wait a minute. Wait. Shocking stuff. The pumpkin fucking femboy who's married to a trans sadist that dominates them on camera. Their relationship is open? What? Dude. Now that shocks me. Now that shocks me.
And stuff. We did collaborate with other NSFW content creators, like back in September and stuff. This right there is basic manipulation because I do have the screenshots of him wanting me to visit up with him to do a threesome with me and Flora. And there are a few screenshots of him doing that. Asking me for explicit pics before I posted them, explicit images, sexually harassing me. He would ask me.
Let me know if you ever visit Canada. I'm banned from Canada for no, I'm kidding. I'd like to go there at some point. I gotta be honest. I have nothing against Canada. It just doesn't seem that interesting to me. No offense, but it's just like, what am I gonna? I'm just gonna be like, wow, it's like America, except it's not. Okay, that's gonna piss some of you off. I know this is that's a very bad time to say that, but like, I'd go to Montreal. I'd go to like Montreal because then I'd feel like I was in, a foreign country.
To do the same. He would ask me to do the same. He would send me images saying, "Hey, is this good enough for Twitter?" I give him the thumbs up, and then he posts them to Twitter.
What is going on with the dogs?
I would do the same thing to him because we were NSFW content creators at this time. He would ask me, "Hey, did you take any good things lately? Here's this and this and this and this. I'm thinking about which one should I post to Twitter. Oh, you should post that one." Awesome. So, for him to say that things have been one-sided, it's looking pretty one-sided so far. Say they were jealous of me hanging around with other.
This guy, an awesome guy. His name's Jared. He runs the YouTube channel Brugly on YouTube. He has a lot of subs. Really great guy. He was telling me about it. He drove from Kentucky to Dead Horse, Alaska, where like for half the year the sun is always up and the other half it's always down. He did the drive from Kentucky. I would have loved to do some shit like that. That's cool as fuck. He went through Canada and stuff.
Friends and not spending time with them. I never really got that one. I don't think I ever said I was jealous. I expressed that I felt like left out because I noticed he was pushing me away and stuff. So I just was like, hey, I feel kind of left out. You know what I mean? And I feel like I word this a bit differently in the thread, and I feel like I should have been. I want to say that Twitter thread that I made back in February, like a few hours after this was posted, was absolutely rushed, and I could have spent more time wording things a bit differently, more clearly and stuff. But jealous though, that irks me a bit. I feel like the term left out is what I meant.
So these two were flirting over a three-way with his wife. Yes, we have two femboys and a trans woman in this love triangle.
But regardless, copy my captions and posts. They still do to this day, even after we split. You do with mine. All femboys do it on Twitter. How many chudais and wadas do you see on Twitter? How many could you give me some cuddles? Would you like some cuddles on Twitter captions and stuff? All the.
How many what? Excuse me?
The term left out is what I meant. But regardless, copy my captions.
You know what I need as a co-host for this segment? Does anybody have like some Irish Catholic or Italian Catholic grandfather that can co-host this segment with me? It would actually, can you imagine? It would be so funny. Try to navigate this with.
Captions and posts. They still do to this day, even after we split. You do with mine. All femboys do it on Twitter. How many chudais and wadas do you see on Twitter?
What does that mean? You know Brugly? I do know Brugly. I met him at a Turkey Tom party once, and we met, and we just like, he was just like so cool to hang out with immediately, and I had like time to kill, and him and a few other guys were like, we're going up north to stay in an Airbnb. You can crash on our couch if you want. And I said, fuck it, you only live once. So these guys that I met in one day, I get in the car that we drive up to Oxnard, California, and they had an Airbnb that was literally just like right on the fucking beach. It was sick. I had a lot of fun. That's also how I met Dire Trip, the YouTuber Dire Trip. He was there. You had this guy Raymundo, remember the kid that made the commentary slop video from last year that everyone was like giving him shit for? Yeah, it was very fun.
Twitter. How many could you give me some cuddles? Would you like some cuddles on Twitter captions and stuff? A lot of femboys on Twitter just copy.
My parents are always to me like, because I just like to do shit like that, but my parents to me are always like, it could be dangerous, and they're right. Like, you don't go do shit with typically, but it's like life is so much more fulfilling when you're just like not living in fear of the worst outcome all the time. It's like I'm the most fun experiences I've had in my life. I've taken on a chance where I very well could have been wrong and something bad could happen to me, but I was right in all those instances, and they've made for like the best stories and the best shit I ever did.
The other captions and stuff. I never went to your fucking account to copy word for word. There has been a few times where I've posted similar posts just to fucking rage bait you shortly after I know you copied from me and even talked about it on your stream. And we'll get into that because there's a certain clip I want to, yeah, not me, I'm an original, the OG. I'm a femboy. How dare you steal my idea for captions? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. And I just want to let you know right now, every single femboy on Twitter, they copy each other's captions. They all do. Hold on, sorry, that was bugging me. All the femboys copy each other's captions. It just depends on who admits it or not. But they all do, you know? Like, we are all guilty of it.
Then what fear-mongering am I doing regarding politics? I make an observation off of what's actually occurring and take it to the next logical step.
You know? I copy from Bing. Exactly. We all do. As if this...
Okay, I don't care about the Femboy copying part.
Where did I put it? Let me. I'm gonna have to open up.
He's doing the. I don't even think that angle is inherently sexual. According to this person, their content was safe for work. After that point, they completely gave up on NSFW. It's like if they were sitting the way that he portrayed, that might not be like an intentional decision. That literally could just be the way they sit. Because when he was demonstrating it, that's not a sexual position. There's no like inherent sexual implications to that. Albeit, he just might not be good at explaining it if they were like wearing something, but like, okay, you're doing this on purpose. That's one thing. But that in and of itself is not going to be sexual.
DMs. And I don't want to leak DMs.
Aiden, you were fear-mongering about Trump. He's saving America and you hate him. You type as you're literally a Mexican-American.
Yet. But, no, the reason why I'm doing this today was because he accused me, and he keeps accusing everyone. He keeps accusing.
Yes, I will listen. If I'm ever in someone's country, you'll know because I'm streaming from there.
About this.
Let me know. I'll go out and get drinks with anyone. That's not a good idea. That's maybe not drinks, but.
And we'll get into this. But yeah, I took a caption from you because I wanted you to fall for the rage bait. You fell for the rage bait, so now you decide to spread slander about me to not just your whole audience, but to people who I view as friends. And, other streamers as well, too.
Okay.
That is harassment.
So this person's accusing Raintism of posting revenge porn?
My guy. So, yeah, no wonder why we're going about your thing today. So, let me minimize that. All right, we're good. We're back on this. Sorry to go back. When you fell for the rage bait, so you gotta mass report them for no reason. Oh, yeah, we'll get into that later, Bose. Don't worry. Spoke negatively about others and played the victim in every falling out with them. I reached out to said individuals, and they all said...
None of these things are inherently manipulative. I don't know if
They immediately...
The problem is coming into this, I'm already biased against Raintism, but the truth of the matter is, he could be the one in the right here. I don't know. Maybe he has grown up. Maybe he learned empathy at 27. Get it? iDubbbz joke, iDubbbz reference. Nothing in this original document necessarily seems like it's detailing harassment, but to be fair, we're not that far into it.
He went to me, and I'll show their doc, don't worry, too, about their sides, too. So this is more than just one-sided, okay? Which they love to dismiss because it does not help their narrative of me being a bad guy. Okay. We'll show how Sandwich being a good guy today.
Okay, so, yeah, so we had a falling out, they part ways, wishes them the best. Unfortunately, they could not extend the same courtesy and went against our verbal agreement to keep things offline. About 2 to 3 months after our falling out, I noticed they would post about hardships they faced in 2024 and could not help but notice they were referencing me vaguely. I believe it's because of jealousy, which I referenced earlier. Not only because of who I was hanging around, but the community I've cultivated and the speed of which... If there was legitimate jealousy here, I would believe that it might be on his part, because it seems like he was attracted to this other femboy to some extent.
This was on the day. This was July 24th. This is how close we were too. This was on the day I went to the psych ward later that night, right?
Why were you in a? Okay, after fucking the pumpkin.
Flora, I was checking in the audit logs. I'm heartbroken to find out that I accidentally changed your roles. I was verifying members the other day, and I think I accidentally changed your pronouns.
By the way, bear in mind, Rain, the person who's talking right now, has a history of lying about hospitalizations.
Doing it on my phone, I might have actually fat fingered him. Yes, this was during the time. I don't know Sandwich's views on trans people and stuff because
he's gonna throw in the transphobia allegation.
He always acted very weird about the topic and stuff, but it weirded my wife out during this time too because both Flora and I were in Sandwich's server, and out of the blue, because you would pick your own pronouns in Discord servers, right? Out of the blue, because my wife is trans, right? Out of the blue, her pronouns would get changed to he, him, a lot, and Sandwich is admitting it from the audit logs.
Your wife seems to believe him, sorry. Your wife believes him. I hate when people do this. They recontextualize shit in hindsight out of anger over unrelated circumstance. So this person has accused him of several things. He's now throwing whatever he can into the ring to try to get back at them. Additionally, once again, he's done this before. The only reason he lied about being raped is because people were making fun of him for lying about having sex. He does, when he is on the defense, he throws in and is dishonest about things that he decides to litigate and bring up.
The issue is, This happened a few times. Though. But one of the times, someone admits a fat finger to it. I was just at the verification. So, okay, no worries. Accidents happen sometimes. I accidentally press the wrong button. Okay, I'm glad that you understand. I have no problem taking the blame for that because it was definitely me. It wasn't my intentional. It wasn't intentional or malicious. That was the main thing I wanted to stay away from. I respect you and your pronouns, and I'm glad everything's okay. He cared about us, and we'll get into a screenshot later of like him showing us that like he told us he loved the both of us. That was the go thing back here. Call me their best friend and which made him feel uncomfortable. He told my wife and I several times that he loved us.
That's different than calling someone your best friend. Especially when you're gay. I'm sorry, but like if you're gay, if you're gay, if you're a woman, like people say this shit to each other, that's different than necessarily calling someone your best friend.
Okay, I just want to get into that. As I said, I wish them and their partners best. I wish them success, and that would not publicly fall out. I would also agree to make things. They would also agree to not make things public, so I forgave them for that and moved on.
Okay, obviously I'm not talking about every single gay person ever. Fortunately, I cannot extend the same courtesy. They're just like, I notice women do this. When women talk to each other, there are some particularly, not all gay men, obviously, but like, if you're like a more effeminate gay guy, which this person was a femboy, I guess, some of those expressions have like carried over a little bit in the sense you don't really like, I say I love you to chat. Yeah. Wow, Aiden, wow. Yeah, dude, I'm homophobic, clearly. I'm very homophobic, clearly. I've cultivated the speed of which I've been growing. I was upset and I let it go because I didn't want to potentially escalate things. This person has a history of escalating situations and manipulating others to take their side. Rain can't even deny that. That's a verifiable fact.
But when I reciprocated that appreciation to him, that's when it feels uncomfortable for him. Unfortunately, they would not extend the same courtesy and went verbal agreement to keep things offline. Went against a verbal agreement to keep things offline. But 2 or 3 months after falling out, I noticed they would post about hardships they faced in 2024 and could not help but notice they were referring to me vaguely. The irony writes itself.
You have to have sex with a man to prove. Dude. Oh, thank you guys. I love you too. I can't do it, man. There's something I can't say those words. I can't do it to family. I can't do it to, I like have this like Freudian barrier. I don't know what it is. I literally can't say it.
I believe it's because of jealousy. That's insane that's your go-to about this. If I express hardships about a bad year I've been having, and your go-to is because of jealousy, I'm sorry, that's a red flag right there. That's a red flag for anybody. If that's your first go-to about it, instead of understanding where they're coming from. No, they're just jealous. They've had a rough year because they're jealous of my success. I'm sorry, that's a red flag. It sounds like someone who loves to gossip behind people's backs. Okay, I'm not just crazy. Not only because of who I was hanging around, but the community I've cultivated and the speed of which I have been growing. I was upset, but I let go because I do not want to potentially escalate things. You did. This person has a history of escalating situations and manipulating others to take their side. They are the main reason I'm writing this because they play a big part of spreading
Now, how's he going to address the escalating situation? So, for example, once again, he's getting caught on a lie that he had sex with someone. So, he lies that, in fact, they actually raped him to make him seem more sympathetic and make people stop going after him. That's an escalation of the situation, and that is manipulating others to take your side. He's admitted to doing this. So I don't know if he's going to give a denial here. Or, if he's smart, he's just going to read that part and not address it.
Information and surrounding my character. Well, this folder is going to prove to you and everyone that I do not spread misinformation.
Oh, and notice how he only addresses the misinformation part. Completely skips this sentence. Because if he does, his new audience is going to have to learn that he used to be the guy that lied that someone raped him.
I do not do shit with malicious intent. I do not manipulate. I don't fucking lie. Today is the definitive proof of me not fucking lying. All right?
You are verified. You have a history. You're a pathological liar.
I apologize to this person in call. You didn't. You've actually verbally yelled at me. They have said multiple times on Twitter that they never received an apology because I didn't. Because I never did. As I'm writing this, I've had people tell me this person was in a Twitch chat yesterday venting about our beef live. I wasn't. I was in the chat. Okay, yeah, no, I read that wrong. I was in the chat.
I read that wrong. He denies things. Don't trust any denial he gives, right? Because at one point, he denies that he was ever calling them they're his best friend or whatever. Then when he's recounting that, he seemingly accepts that. He's like, oh, you have a problem when I reciprocate or whatever. After he reads the best, like he forgot that's the part you just denied, right? In this part, because he's just used to reading things that are only based off of the word of the other person, he could just deny. He accidentally denies this thing and then realizes, wait, like this is actually something where there's evidence to substantiate it. I don't know how you could misread this.
Chat.
He just lied. Yeah, he just lied.
About this when it went live. No, I read it as like I was like on the stream doing it. No, my bad. The streamer, they were venting.
You know what? To be fair, I kind of interpret it a little bit like that too. Maybe I guess this one isn't necessarily a lie.
Sorry to speak negatively.
I could actually see how you might be able to misread that. All right, just to be fair, I'm fair.
About me as well in front of roughly 30 people. This also influenced the chat to speak negatively as well. I am not mad at the streamer because I know that they don't know who this person really is behind the scenes. Well, after enough times, they do know who you are behind the scenes, Sandwich. So, and I like how that's the escalation too, because when a smaller creator talks about it, right, he doesn't care. But when someone larger than him talks about it, that's when he starts freaking out about this. That's when he starts acting like this. That's the thing. That's the thing that annoys me a bit. I would not recommend taking their side publicly about this. Okay, this statement...
Thank you for the nice words, Belinda.
You cannot accuse others of begging to take their sides and then make statements like this. Because that right there is you're asking people to not take the other person's side and not listen to them. That is manipulation.
That's not manipulation. I would not recommend taking their side. That's not okay. How is that? If they believe you're in the wrong, of course they wouldn't advise people to take your side, and they'd be against that. That's not manipulation.
Right there. That statement right there.
Holy soy, that's manipulation.
Oh, oopsie. Sorry, right there. That is manipulation.
How?
Either I'm crazy or that's just manipulation.
You're crazy. You literally. Okay, I'm not gonna make fun of him for that. I think he's lying about that too, because he lies about hospitalizations. He's like, "Yeah, I read this right after I got out of the psych ward, man." You could go to a psych ward and not be crazy, but like, come on, dude. You can't say that and then immediately be like, "I'm not crazy."
There. And I want to make this statement clear too, just to show that I'm not manipulation. If you still side with him, I don't care. Go ahead and take their side. Show your support. Sorry. Show your support to him. Take your side. I don't fucking care. But at least listen to both sides of the situation. You already listen to his side, right? I don't know what he's doing on Twitch. I don't fucking care. But like I said, like at least listen to like both sides first before you make a decision and stuff. But like begging like others to like I wouldn't recommend taking their side. Like no, that's manipulation, dude.
That's not that's their advice based on the evidence they're presenting in the stock and their opinion of the situation. It's not manipulation.
Pay attention to the proof. Exactly. That's the issue that I'm having with this, that he's not understanding. He's not getting it. I don't even know if he's watching this right now. Look, I kind of hope, but like I don't fucking care, dude. People need to know what you've done. But again, I'm not here to change anyone's minds or opinions. This is my personal experience with toxic individuals on the internet. I'm willing to explain my perspective. All right, let me back out. He's not. Don't worry. Okay. What do you got? A tab on him? That's funny. Let me go to my Twitter real quick. Oh, bitch! I went to Twitch.
Okay, this is his original thread, so we'll read through this, and then we're done with this fucking stream. My experience with Femboy. Okay, we'll read this. Hold on.
Came out from Sammy that has lies, twisting of details, and manipulation. While he does express his views about how he feels about it, I want to make it clear that I am not going to dismiss how he feels or invalidate his feelings. But I will, however, tell my side and show screenshots about the things he has done and has said to me and my wife. I don't want to come off as hateful, and I don't want to right now. I don't want to come off as hateful, right? I may not like the guy, but I don't want to make it seem like...
Oh, now this is manipulative. I hate when people do this. I don't want to be mean. I'm not a hateful... Like, as you're in the... Like, it's okay. It's okay if you are being hateful. That's okay. That's fine. Just fucking own it. I'm such a wholesome chungus that doesn't want to be mean or hate anybody.
I'm spreading hate, alright? I'm just showing you what he's done. And what he's done...
Dude, yeah, he tried to do... Dude, he tried to skinwalk and parody iDubbbz, like, unironically, and he had a series called Video Cracker. Does anyone have that saved?
It's some shitty actions. For someone... But I don't like spreading hate, but for someone to act like a Semi and present themselves as someone who wants to spread positivity and kindness, Semi has not been showing that behind the scenes. If you could take the time out of your day to read this thread, this will mean so much to me. Okay. Show more. So these first two, okay? Which... Here we go. Okay, so Now, at this point, I'm going to be putting the thread to the side on my second monitor and showing the screenshots. Sorry, I turned that off. And show the screenshots of what Damage has been saying. So hopefully you can read that. Okay. So y'all remember this from the thread, right? This is what I'm reading off the Google Doc, or Twitter thread, excuse me. I've always viewed Sammy as one of my good friends. At the time, for as many times we hung out, I expressed that he was one of my best friends. One of. Not my absolute best, but one of my close friends. I use best and close.
Wait. Dude! I'm sorry, he didn't just do this. There's no way he just did this. There's no way he just did this. We just got him. Wait. Am I, like, misreading something? Am I misreading something?
Call him a best friend. I never on the internet for a couple months. I wouldn't call them. I never called him a best friend. I never ever did. I closed interchangeably out. I expressed that he was one of my best friends. One of.
Oh, he's reading something.
This is what I'm reading off the Google Doc.
Is it their Google Doc or his?
Damage has been saying. So hopefully you can read that. Okay. So y'all remember this from the thread, right? This is what I'm reading off the Google Doc. Twitter thread, excuse me.
Wait, this was his thread. This was his thread. He's reading off his own thread. So he said, can anybody find the original thread? Can anybody find the original thread? This is from February 14th of last year. Okay, somebody find this fucking thread and link it to me. Wait, no, we already got it. We already got it. No, dude, we already fucking got it. This is his own recollection of what happened. He was one of my best friends. Now, after the fact, on this stream, when this person says he would call me his best friend, we got it.
Internet for a couple months. I wouldn't call them. I never called him a best friend. I never ever did. I called him a close friend because we hung out every single day.
And then in the thread, I called them one of my best friends. He lied. He just lied. Because all he does is fucking lie. I don't know why. He thought that because it was his word against this person's word, he could just deny it. He could just deny it, right, and move on. He forgot that his own recollection of what happened supports what they're saying here. So he just fucking lied.
Show more. So these first two, okay? Which, here we go. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to be putting the thread to the side on my second monitor and showing the screenshots. Sorry, I turned that off. And show the screenshots of what Damage has been saying. So hopefully you can read that to be proven wrong about this. Okay? Tell me when I'm telling lies.
We just got you on one. We just got you on one.
Okay, now we're gonna get into the next three. Okay, asked me to visit him to make ancillary content. We were in a committed relationship. We're gonna get into this. I don't mention this publicly, but my wife and I are in an open relationship. Yes, I do sometimes flirt with some of my femboy friends. But at the end of the day, yes, we are married, and I love her more than any person on the planet. That will never change. That will never change. All right, just because I flirt with my
truly a power couple, truly a power couple, truly an American love story. Dude, what is the marriage from hell? Please don't tell me the two of you are, I guess you'd have to adopt, right? Please don't tell me the two of you are planning on having kids.
You know, femboy friends, flirt with SFW creators and stuff like that, right? I don't love any of them the way I love my wife, all right? She is, like, my number one person in my life that I go to. Like, I told her this, I would never marry anybody else. Like, I don't even picture marrying anybody else but her, all right?
Well, yeah. She was in the middle of a strangulation session with him.
We are in an open relationship. Yeah, we do make SFW content with other creators sometimes, right? But I don't love any of them the way I love my wife. Tell me when I'm telling lies. You were the only one who told us about the idea of wanting to have a threesome with her and I. My wife was very uncomfortable with you because of this, especially when you replied to her jokingly about the idea to in a public reply to a tweet. I don't know why you have to twist the narrative about this, Sammy. So this right here, right? Ask me to visit and make SFW content. Okay, Sandwich, could you explain this, please? Could you explain this, please, Sammy?
That's them saying that they wanted to have a threesome as well.
Chad, I feel like you can read this one. That's not that big. This is Sandwich's old
That doesn't invalidate you asking them.
Discord profile picture, by the way. So just so I'm not misconstruing anything, this is Sandwich. This is my old Discord profile pic. It says his Sandwich wanted to tell me something. He's like, oh, I feel like you shouldn't. And I was like, nah, please go ahead, I can handle it. He goes, well, to be honest, I want to have a threesome with you and Flora. I don't go further into details yet. Or I don't want to go into further details yet. Why is that? Why is that? Anyways, this one though. How do I do this one? Can I? Okay, I can just do this. So this was a tweet thread where it was like one of those trends or some bullshit where it's like you look at all like the astronomy signs or whatever and how they're compatible with like sexual compatible, emotional compatible, or some bullshit or whatever. I forgot what it was. This was Sandwich's SFW content at Twitter at the time. I don't think it's around anymore, so don't go looking for it. So I made the tweet, you know, he's a Capricorn, so I guess it was like real high, medium, or whatever and stuff, or all highs and stuff like that, which is what it said. Sex too. I'll just leave you to a minute, making Flora very uncomfortable. Bro, that's my wife. She's always first for me. I sometimes make silly tweets and replies to my friends, but none of them should be taken seriously. I don't mean to sound cringe, but please don't L my wife.
What? What did you... What was that? Enhance? Enhance? What the fuck was that?
L my wife.
Muscle memory kicking in?
I don't want to toot my own horn here.
What? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's fucking flinging his fluids all over the place midstream. What the fuck is going on? I absolutely love my wife and would never be caught thinking about anyone else. Dude, what is this?
Oh, Kenji, hush. That was me. That was me. That was me. Is there mail here?
Is that his wife in the background? Is that his wife? Dude, what the fuck? It's like a house of horrors.
I don't want to toot my own horn here. Oh, Kenji, hush. That was me. That was me. That was me. Is there mail here? No, there's no mail. Sorry. Anywho.
No, there's... How would you... Do you not have a wall? How does you walk into the living room to check if there's... I guess maybe you could see through the door?
Someone's talking about wanting to block this guy. It's not like no, you didn't.
It seems like this is an apartment, right? So I guess I don't know how that... Okay. He's probably lying that he had to go check the mail. He's making sure that his wife's boy toy that she brought home, make sure everything's going smoothly.
And that guy took an L for being rude. He then goes, well, he's not going to be able to see the threesome. This is definitive fucking proof that you wanted to have this happen. This is definitive. I don't know why you get on your high horse manipulating like shit like this, dude. And it's easy to debunk too, because your whole Google Doc...
Or you say you talk like this jokingly to people, he can do the exact same thing. Right? The allegation was that you were the first one to ask. Him being interested doesn't really refute what he said there. And your refutation of the first allegation, none of these allegations even matter. So I don't know why he needs to lie, but he verifiably lied in response to the first one.
You don't show a single fucking image. This is literally bro thinks he's on the team. Yeah, hold on there.
This is literally like that one meme from a year ago.
Dude.
No, not a year ago. How many years ago was this? You can't really do that where it's like, this guy's not on the team and he thinks he is. When the team is you making femboy pumpkin molestation videos online getting dominated by your trans wife. That's the team. That's the team. It's a good thing bro thinks he's on it, despite implying he's not actually on it. Because if he was, I'd fear for his safety.
Sandwich! I'm sorry, dude, but like, you're getting real upset at me for saying this, but like, I don't mean to go off course and sound, unprofessional, but the way you idolize Kendrick.
You fucked a pumpkin. You fucked a pumpkin. What about this is professional?
You want to be Kendrick. You're Drake. You act more like Drake than Kendrick.
Damn, bro, really got him. You're more like Drake.
Anyways, you are not like us. You are not like us.
Not like no, who the fuck want the us in this situation? Saying you're not like us is a fucking compliment. I get dominated up the fucking ass by my wife and her BBC every single night. You are not like us. You don't get to feel that experience, he says as he cries.
Anyways, let me get into this. Next one. All right, the next tweet was deleted from the thread because that is the part that's been covering like the heinous, really heinous act that he did, and I'll get into that later. Where is this? So I'm gonna skip that part, and I'll come back to it. Okay. I will admit, during this time, I was having a falling out with another friend at the time, which I'm not gonna go into. So like, I wanted to have someone close to me to vent to about this. So like, saying jealous was the wrong wording. I will fully admit. So I do admit it was long ago. I admit of saying I was jealous. I meant to reword it differently, but I will take fault for saying I was jealous of what he was accusing me for during this time. Copying captions.
Wait, what? Wait, in the original. Wait.
Jealous. I meant to reword it differently. I do admit it was long ago. I admit of saying I was jealous. I meant to reword it differently, but I will.
This guy is a pathological liar. Do you not see what he just did? Do you not see it? Do you not see it? The first one, he says, because he forget the problem when you lie as much as he does, the biggest, yeah, I've said this before, it's like a Ponzi scheme. You get success at first, but at some point, you know, you're taking on so many investors to pay back the old investors that you run out, like you can't keep track of what the fuck is going on, and you run out of investors to pay back the previous investors to pay back the previous ones, right? The problem with a pathological liar is you also have to have a like superhuman memory, because when you lie as much as he does, and you lie to obfuscate other lies, you make up lies for no reason, etc. There are so many lies there, you cannot possibly keep track of them all. So he'll say something on this stream, he'll make an assertion on this stream that actively contradicts what he said in the previous thread. On this stream, he says, I never called them my best friend. I never called them my best friend. Meanwhile, on his previous thread from the year prior, from a year ago, he says, yeah, I said they were one of my best friends. Now, he said this person accuses him of being jealous of them. And he says, on this current stream, he says, I'm not jealous. He refutes that, right? But now, he realizes, wait, he had admitted previously that he was jealous of them. So now he needs to like quickly get that out of the way, saying he misworded it, he meant to reword it or whatever, to get to make you not focus on that lie, because he realizes he's told the verifiable lie and he's scared legitimately of being caught again.
Take fault for saying I was jealous of what he was accusing me for during this time. Copying captions. Where's the part? Did I skip that part? Thread. Copying captions. Oh, I must have put in the word picture for that one, but this was talking about the admitting that I was like jealous part of it or something. Where I think he's getting the jealousy thing from is what I would tell him, that I was proud of him growing and reaching his goals, but I do get insecure about myself sometimes, so I would say that I wish I could keep up with them. I would work hard.
Didn't you literally just admit you told him you were jealous at one point as well?
On myself to grow. I honestly.
Well, I wonder why this guy who I said made me feel insecure about his success, and who I told I was jealous of him, why he thinks I was jealous of him. Okay. Easy. Let's go back. Very, very easy. This guy, he's a stupid liar too, so he makes it so fucking easy.
So, for him to say that things have been one-sided, it's looking pretty one-sided so far. Say they were jealous of me, hanging around with other friends and not spending time with them. I never really got that one. I don't think I ever said I was jealous.
Okay, this is about the friend thing. This was about the friend thing. So I guess that's actually not technically a lie. I thought we got him again. That's not technically a lie, because the specific allegation says he was jealous of the other friends, not of the success. Wait. Show the full thing. This actually could be him getting jealous about other friends. Understandable. I will try and be better and tone it down a bit. Also, too, I would like to apologize if I do get a little jealous sometimes. I really hope that doesn't show. So, no, this actually very well might be a lie. Show the DM. We have you saying you're jealous, but you've left out the context saying what you're jealous of. So that point might also be correct.
I don't see why this is a point needing to be made, which I still believe to this day. Yeah, people get fucking I don't want to say jealous of their friends, but wish they could do some more. Oh, I came to find a repo plushie wrong time. Bought a repo plushie. Ooh, wish I could have it. Yeah, this is a bit of a wrong time. I'm talking about my experience with the Femboy sandwich. It's how he made me and my wife and his former mods very uncomfortable. So yeah, sorry about this. Today's not one of those days. Today is not one of those days. Okay. Understandable. I will try to be better and tone down a bit. I also too would like to apologize if I do get a little jealous sometimes. I really hope that doesn't show. I didn't pick up on that. How do you get jealous? If you don't mind me asking. The more the better, because I don't see you in real time, so I might not just be picking up on that. There's me. Oh, my bad. Hope it's all good. No, he accused me of he slandered me of a felony, so I'm clearing out today. I'm clearing things up today. Okay, at this point, I do talk about... Okay, this point is so damning, alright? This point is so damning.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, like up, sub up, all that good shit. If you're new here, sub up. I don't think anyone is new here. You could super chat, tip, goes a long way. Much appreciated.
I also am talking about from this thread right now. I never once influenced anybody about my experience with you. Every single time I have talked about you since you cut me off, they were the first to ask me about you, and I tell them and show them the truth about the type of person you are. I never went to people about you, Sandwich. People went to me about you, and I showed them the proof of the type of person you are. That's always been this. So to sit there and say that I've spoke negatively about you, you aren't the same.
Can't trust it. This is a claim relying on his word, and tons of people that manipulate love to do this, where it's like other people were concerned about you. We need to see some proof of that. You're a fucking habitual liar.
Two, play the victim. You did this. This is you. You are projecting here. I never once played victim. I showed them this, and they decide themselves, okay, fucking Rain's the victim of this because Sandwiches, was weird with his wife, has fucking lied about this, manipulated people about this and this and this. But
how is he weird with your wife? He literally shows a screenshot of this person DMing them. They didn't even catch it. The wife didn't even catch it. This person reaches out and is being considerate, saying, hey, I made this mistake. I just want you to know it was a mistake, etc. We don't even know if the wife knew about it. They chose to volunteer that by their own admission, and your wife evidently believed them. So how are you now recontextualizing this in hindsight after they've come out about you to make it look like they were being weird to her?
The people that do take your side don't even listen to me because you manipulate them, like Rokishi, like Delta, like all this stuff, like Iggy, because they take your side and they just don't listen, like Miso and stuff. They take your fucking side and you manipulate them, saying, I wouldn't recommend listening to Rain's side about this. He's insane. He escalates shit. I wouldn't recommend this. When there is a lot of fucking proof about the abhorrent person you are. You were in the stream. I saw the chat. That's what I'm going to leave it at. Sorry. This Sir Gaming guy, this Sir Gaming Watch chat was like really weird during this time too. He would roleplay a lot of his messages in my chats too, and like put a lot of shit in parentheses and stuff like this. Sorry roleplay shit, which made me like uncomfortable. Damn, he's an op.
The uncomfy allegations. Uncomfortable is a really big buzzword that people like to use.
Let's talk about something happier. He has been influenced by a certain individual and used his platform to spread negativity. So enough talk though. I'm moving on, minding my business. The very next day, you made your thread, and there's a funny screenshot too. The very next day, you post this in your server. This was in response. You post your Google Doc about me in your server, and then you type this.
Is that all that happened? They said they're gonna leave it at that, and nothing happens in between, and they just post the document out of nowhere, I assume, right?
You have not moved on. You have never...
Surely there's nothing that happens in between these two events that he's omitting, right? He wouldn't do that.
Moved on, and you do not care about spreading negativity about me. Because you do the exact same, and then you sit back with your audience and do this shit. This is not someone who claims to spread positivity on the fucking internet. Tell me why I'm telling lies. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, no, mind my own business. You don't mind your own business, but okay. We had a falling out. Where's this part of the thread? You never apologized. Oh yeah, this is the part where he says he apologized. You never apologized once. This hurts me to say, but all I wanted was an apology from you. All I wanted was an apology for what you said to me during our final private VC and how toxic you treated me. Yeah, he verbally abused me. Like he verbally berated me in like a 2-hour call and just yelled at me the whole fucking time and stuff.
He verbally abused you. I'm sorry, if you get verbally, if you're like The only time this works is if it's the people that Liar are talking to who are legitimately in the call under like duress, threat, coercion, and they're mentally or cognitively disabled. I hate to say it, but like if you are verbally abused on the internet in a voice chat, that is your fault. That is your fault. You can leave. You can exercise autonomy and leave.
Like, I hate to admit this, but yeah, no, I was breaking down crying, like, fucking after that call.
Because you're a bitch.
And stuff, just because of how he treated me. But yet, he made
someone yelled at you online and you were breaking down crying.
the agreement, we'll move on separate ways.
And now you're admitting it here on stream for some reason.
For him to immediately break that promise to go shit talk me and berate me to his 2 mods at the time, who I was friends with, who made them, who they were uncomfortable with, of course that fucking made me sad and made me cry. Like, how could that not have been, you know? I hate saying this because what I'm hurt most by is what he said in a private VC. I don't really want to do a just trust me, but if this thread shows you anything, I have nothing to hide. I'm telling the truth and showing 100% truth with 1,000% truth. Sammy would get frustrated with me and begin saying hurtful things to me. One of the things most hurt by was how we discussed body looks. And for anybody that knows me, I guess this is a form of body dysmorphia, or I'm very self-loathing about myself, about how I look. I don't like how I look.
That's not body dysmorphia, because body dysmorphia implies you're overly fixated on some flaw in your appearance that isn't really like that noticeable to others. There's like a fixation on it. Being ugly and acknowledging that you are ugly is not body dysmorphia. It's just having eyes.
Look, and I always try and make an effort to change myself for the better, so I can be comfortable with how I look. I would bring up how I'm very insecure about myself. The past year, I would work hard to get to a point where
this guy needs to go to clavicular summer camp. He starts like bone mashing and shit.
I feel comfortable with my own body.
Mewing, bone mashing.
Sammy would tell me, I'm gonna be honest, it feels like you haven't put in any work at all with how you look.
Hi, what are we doing? Okay, so quick TLDR for anyone who wasn't here. This person is Raintism. He used to be in the commentary community around 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. He was like a clout-hungry attention whore in 2022 at the very beginning when he was in his 20s. He got called a simp for lusting after some e-bitch online, so he said that he had a heart attack, which he lied about and faked. When people found out he had not presented any evidence to this, he admitted to the lie. Another thing he did at that point in time was Lou the Kitty was the ex of Monkey Jones, and she had accusations against herself. So he said, he tweeted out, I can leak like a sex tape I did with, a prominent YouTuber's ex or whatever. And then when people pushed him on this lie, because his story about fucking them was inconsistent, to seem like the victim and to get them to stop pushing, he actually claimed that she drugged him and that she raped him. Well, he later owns this lie too. It turns out he's never met Lou the Kitty IRL, so they could not have had sex, and she couldn't have raped him. He admitted to lying about that. He disappears, makes himself to be the victim, says fuck the commentary community, disappears, and then joins the Femboy community, marries a trans woman where they film sex tapes together in the Femboy community. They fuck a pumpkin. He fucks a pumpkin on video or whatever. Then another Femboy and him are going back. Another Femboy accuses him of being like a manipulative friend. So he goes back and he's accusing the Femboy of like doing like 16 plus streams that were sexualized, even though the Femboy, these were all safe for work streams. Because this person had retired, I guess, their brand or whatever. But the main crux of the allegations is, at this point, he's now accusing this person of the Femboy that wrote the document on him. He's accusing them of being weird to his wife because they had accidentally given his wife the he-him pronouns role in the server and then reversed it and apologized. And the wife was accepting of that at the time. So it seems like he's just bringing this up in hindsight to find something to hit back at them with. And then furthermore, he's verifiably lied throughout the course of this stream. He made a statement on this a year before this stream, and he accidentally contradicts his own statement with his retelling of this story.
He said this to me in the call while he was berating me, by the way. The other things he said was how when I ended up in the psych ward overnight back in July due to an anxiety meltdown, mental break.
Wait. He has a history of lying about hospitalization. Correct me if I'm wrong. Overnight sounds like the... When you get committed to a psych ward, don't they have to hold you more than just for one night? You can go to the emergency room for a psychiatric emergency, and then it's from there, I think, that they would send you to a psych ward. But when you actually go to the psych ward, isn't that for like a little more than just a few hours. I've heard of overnight stays in the ER, but I know that for a psych ward, it's at least 1 day, is it not? You can go to the ER with presenting with a psychiatric emergency. You would speak to a doctor or a psychiatrist that is present there. They would talk to you and then decide if you meet the criterion for being committed, if you're a danger to yourself or others, etc. Or I'm pretty sure there's voluntary commitment as well. Or they can choose to just discharge you during the ER step that night, right? Or within a few hours, because they don't feel like there's justification, I guess, for holding you. The psych ward is the step where they do hold you, and I've never heard about someone being in a psych ward for 1 night.
Down, Sammy would say, yeah, that weirded me out. I can't be friends with someone like that. For someone who is an advocate for mental health, these two things haven't left my mind since then, since they were said back in November. And this was November a year.
If you're committed, I think it's usually at least 72 hours. So he's repeatedly brought up unprompted that he was in a psych ward. He says here, timestamp 1/12/28, that he was there overnight. That doesn't make sense to me for a psych ward. I could be wrong about this. So if anyone wants to contest that, please. I know at least a few of you have probably probably had a grippy sock vacation, but the in general, right? In general, you can't trust his word because he literally verifiably lied about a hospitalization previously.
A year ago. So this
how long goes this VOD? 2 months ago, but then this escalates over the last few days.
A year later, and these things have not left my mind, chat. Those two things that he has said to me. This is not an individual who spread positivity, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think I got the images. Oh, I did, excuse me. Here we go. Yes, I will admit that I said Sammy hasn't changed for the better. I do agree that him going on a spiritual change is amazing, and I'm proud of him for that, which I told him in the call. I told him that if you had the spiritual change, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for it. At least you're, like, finally waking up and all that bullshit. Like, I'm proud of you for going on the spiritual change. But
how the fuck are you talking about spirituality while you're fucking pumpkins on camera, bro?
Part that I said that it feels like you haven't changed for the better was because of how he treated others, was how he treated me, was that he treated me like shit, that he treated others like shit, you know? The fact that he was acting like such a dick to people was what I think is why I brought up he hasn't changed for the better. And it's not just me that thought that too, which is what I meant. What I said, his behavior and the way he treats people has changed. It's not just me thinking about this. Others has seen the change in him, too, including his former mods, which is what I bring up. Hold on a sec. I'm sorry, I lost my train. There we go. And it's like, dude, his own mods. Yeah, I think, yeah, months away from the community and just watching and what's happening on Twitter, it's just a downward spiral. I wish I could have seen the situation more clearly back then, but nowadays I'm just left with the theories on what made him.
Oh, wait, is Aiko still here? Is Aiko still here? I've been told that you don't want to, I'm not trying to drag you into anything. I've been told you don't want to be involved with my drama with anyone. But I was told a story. This story is very interesting to me. I was told that Soul Skibbity claimed that Dickers said something about you in a VC. I was then told that upon a conversation with Dickers, Soul Skibbity was talked down into agreeing that he's 99.9% he heard it, confident that he heard it, not 100%. So maybe Soul misremembered. Then somebody else comes to me and is like, Dickers lied. I was in the VC. He did say that. And then I hear as well, not to put Gamma on the spot, but I hear that Gamma admitted in private as well that Dickers did in fact say the thing that Soul was claiming he said. Once again, before Gamma's like, you're lying, I didn't do this. I'm not claiming or asserting that you did. I'm saying that's what I was told. And I'm very curious to hear what this behind-the-scenes drama that's unfolding is.
Completely do a 180 on people who cared for him. People cared about you, Sandwich. A lot of people cared about you, Sandwich. These Mintley and Pink really cared about you.
Yeah, basically I was like, I don't know, this is between you guys. What was it alleged that he had said about you?
Me and Flora really cared about you. But ever since you grew and ever since you started knowing all these streamers, you treated the people who cared about you like garbage.
Definitely not jealous. Definitely not jealous, by the way. He's definitely not jealous of anything.
So that's what we're upset by.
You'll call? Okay, you can call on. I'd love to see. Is Gamma awake? Can somebody ask Gamma if he's awake? Aika, what's up?
Sorry, I did turn something off.
No
Okay,
worries.
so TLDR with the Dickers, Soul Skibbity, Gamma stuff. Soul Skibbity was like doing a drunken rant on stream about me, and he was like, I'm gonna leak this. Because he was coping forever about getting my perms taken away from Dicker's live chat. He's been on this like mission for months apparently. So he says on stream, I'm gonna leak this. Dicker said that he doesn't take away Aika's permissions because it would be an annoying conversation to have. Something like that. And so I DM'd Dickers and I was like, if you want me to call in less, it's fine, just tell me. And he said that no, he said something like perms are like STIs, you can't just take them back. I don't know, something like that. Basically, the original thing that Soul said he had said, I wouldn't have cared. I didn't think there was a problem with it, right? I don't care. Like, I understand if he just said that to Soul, however he feels, I can see him just telling that to Soul to get him off his back because Soul's been spurging about this forever. But Soul, I don't know, maybe thinks he was gaslit. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. In regards to the only reason I want to figure this out is because I think it would be very interesting if he lied. I had somebody come to me that very adamantly said that the thing that Soul alleged that he said about you, he did in fact say, but he also said what you just said, the STI thing as well. He said both of those. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
So if he's denying it, I'm just curious, I guess, why others are adamantly claiming that he did say it.
I wasn't in any calls with anybody, so basically everything that I know is out there, and so what I don't know, whatever they're up to. I don't know. So maybe I have no idea. It would be a stupid lie.
Okay, Gamma, by the way, just so we're clear, Gamma has now just said on the record, to be clear, Dickers denied to you. He said he didn't say that the thing about not wanting to remove your perms because it was a difficult conversation, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So whatever you want to do with that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Yeah, so I was told that in private, Gamma vouched that Dickers did say that, but like didn't want to cover it because it was supposedly it's not
happy.
Okay, I didn't mean to pull up a Diorio VOD. That Gamma supposedly agreed that Dickers said the thing that he denied he said and debated Soul on. But there was no public confirmation of this, and Gamma apparently told this person he was just going to keep it private. But now, Gamma has said the following. And just to be clear, Gamma is against Soul on the Ico shit. If anything, he'd be more favorable towards Dickers. He says, what about it? I vaguely remember that conversation. Something about Dickers not wanting to remove Ico's perms because it would be a difficult conversation of afterwards. That's literally all I can say about that. It's the same thing I told Soul, Kathy, and QQ. That's all I can offer to that one. Okay, so Soul claims this is what he heard. Gamma claims this is what he remembers hearing. The person who came to me says this is what they remember hearing that Gamma agreed with. But when Dickers goes to Aiko, he says he didn't say this thing. He actually said this other thing. But it was actually, I was told that he said both. And then did the thing where you act like the two are mutually exclusive. So it's very interesting because I'm somebody that's a big fan of Dickers' memory, and if not his memory, his honesty. I think his recollection of events has been nothing but honest and definitely happened. I Dickers told me in a bar that he said no, but seriously, someone is lying here. Someone is lying here.
I expressed that I felt like left out because I noticed he was pushing me away and stuff. So I just was like, hey, I feel kind of left out. You know what I mean? And I feel like I word this a bit differently in the thread, and I feel like I should have been. I want to say that Twitter thread that I made back in February, like a few hours after this was posted, was absolutely rushed, and I could have spent more time.
Okay, everyone is totally sweeping over this, by the way. Gamma allegedly said he wasn't gonna speak on it publicly or whatever. So no, if this guy lied, why do we want to be hush hush? Oh, this is nothing. No. He's told several stories that rely on his credibility. Stories that rely on his credibility, like seeing me in a bar on Kiwi Farms, which never fucking happened, and that's why I'm so autistically obsessed with that one point, because it didn't fucking happen. I looked through my phone, there's no way he could have interpreted me looking at a screenshot as that. It was either totally misremembering something or an outright lie, right? So if there's another case where it's being alleged that he lied, I don't think you should sweep that.
Wording things a bit differently, more clearly and stuff. But jealous, though, that irks me a bit. I feel like the term left out is what I meant. But regardless.
It's like I think that something happened 2 months ago. So I said months ago. It happened a month and a half ago. That's an outright malicious lie. That's a malicious lie, even though in the context of the story that makes absolutely no difference to the story. That's a malicious, intentional lie. But like, if it's a case of we have 3 people saying Dicker said something that he adamantly denies, nothing to see here. Move on, folks. Move on.
Copy my captions and posts. They still Thank
you for the 20, cats a flocking. What we're witnessing is the Jays colluding against the Goys. They don't even hide it anymore. I guess they pull the strings in plain sight nowadays. Dude, the ADL's coming from my ass.
To this day, even after we split.
Is that why you're kissing the ring of the Cabal? I'm kissing the ring of the Cabal. So true. That's why I called Dioria's take yesterday fucking stupid, and I said we weren't friends. Right? Because I'm kissing the ring of the Cabal. Everyone is so mind raped, dude. Everyone is so mind raped. The Goyim deserve to lose at this point, man. Like, dude.
You do with mine. All femboys do it on Twitter. How many Chudais and Wadas do you see on Twitter? How many could...
Wait, ready? Hold on.
When we say that you have changed for the worse, is because you treat people lower than you like fucking garbage. Tell me when I'm telling lies, chat. Prove me when I'm wrong. I'm waiting for it. I'm fucking waiting for it.
You're in trouble. I'm not opposition. I don't base my existence online to opposing the... That was last year. All the anti-Cabal shit. There's nothing to... I'm against dishonesty, hive minds, lies, sweeping, which they have been quite guilty of. But if it happens here, I'm absolutely gonna call it out. I'm not sides cocked.
That's good. That's good range. Also, chat, is anybody still there? I want to know how long I've been yapping for. Is anybody still in chat? Still here? Can you just like type something real quick? Thank you. I just want to see who's here. I just want to take a breather real quick.
Who's here, chat? Who's here? Who's here?
Oh my goodness. This part, yes, we had a verbal agreement not to talk to each other.
Who's here?
One another when we split up. But your former mods came to me told me that you were openly shit talking me about me in your public VC. I don't want to speak on their behalf, considering that they do have statements that they want to make too. But I was not the one who broke our agreement that Sammy came up with, by the way. That is true. And I do have their Google Docs as well too. If you want, by all means, hold on a second. I will do this. Hey, Rel, hope you're doing wonderful. I saw you went live. Let me do this real quick. Because I need to search on Twitter right now.
Nobody's here. Nobody's here. This is how I feel typing in Icy nowadays. This is how I feel. We had a fucking good thing happening. We had a good thing happening once upon a time. And we'll have it again. We'll have it again. But just know that the rats who scurried when we were out of cheese... I can't, dude. I love making the cheese. Dude, I love the fucking cheese and rat analogy. We'll not have a seat at the table when we have cheese again.
And if you, like I said, if you don't want to take my word for it, chat, there's 2 other statements here too. You know? Because I do have 2 other statements that you can look into as well too. Here we go. This is Mintley's Google Doc. Hopefully that works. Yeah, this Mintley's Google. Okay, it works. I see anonymous people right there. Both these people's threads and docs, by the way, they're a couple. They're in a relationship, and they both used to be mods for Femboy Sandwich. By the way, I just want to let that know. Let that be known. Okay. So let me get back into this. There we go. Also has a manipulation history escalated things, which is what he's made a statement here for. Sammy, every situation I have been in, I always made sure to tell the truth and show receipts, which is something you and your friends still have yet to do. They still have yet to show proof and receipts. That's the fucking thing, too. Even a year later.
You haven't shown receipts that would disprove anything they've said. Okay, is this their stream? Okay, yeah, you could. This is definitely sexual. Okay, I was like, okay, just because you're. Oh my. Okay, all right. What the fuck?
I fucking hate VTubers so much. Fucking hate V.
Heavenly Father, I ask you to protect myself and this chat from the man-made horrors and fucking abominations we're about to witness. Dude, please say a prayer. Please say a prayer.
VTubing community, fucking hate the femboy community so fucking much. It's because it's people like this. It's because of people like Sandwich. And I guess that's his goal. Is to, for me is.
He was like doing the thing where he was like showing like they were doing thigh cam streams. I'm like, sitting like that is not necessarily sexual. And then it's like literally them in like fucking like fish. I don't know what you would call that, like a fishnet or whatever.
Like to try and rage bait me to get me blackballed from the community. There's been several times where I tweeted about how I feel like I'm being blackballed from the community because of Sandwich. If this is not proof, please prove me wrong. I'm begging. I'm fucking begging.
Yeah, Louis screenshotting that for his goon folder.
I express how I feel a mental struggle. I express some. Hold on, I'll be right back. I hear fucking noises. Sorry about that. Anyways, I express how I feel about my mental struggle. I keep it honest, I'm blunt, and genuine with people. And it sucks that you're using these posts that I put my heart and soul into out of negativity as a negative point in your Google Doc. Also, too, once again, we blocked each other and agreed to mind our own business. So why are you looking at my posts? That's a thing that Sandwich does too. So he looks at my posts a lot. He will not admit to it. Actually, no, he has admitted to it on stream. I will show a clip right now. He has admitted to looking at my posts. We've had each other blocked since November of last year. I have yet to unblock him since November of fucking last year. But yet we agreed to move our separate ways, his idea, by the way, and to move on from one another. But yet he still actively looks at my posts. Here's where I feel like I've been going through a mental struggle, where I do feel like I'm being blackballed from the community because of him. He looks
blackballed from the femboy community? Wait, I was looking.
Posts.
Okay, I'm playing Hoi 4. I'm playing Hoi 4 right now while we're watching this. I wasn't putting the gameplay on screen. I just look back. I'm sorry that you had to see that.
If you don't believe me, here it is out of the fucking horse's mouth. Let's have a look, chat.
Let's listen, guys. Let's listen.
When was this? This was like the week before he did his, like, this was like the last stream he did before his current subathon that he's on right now. By the way, this is the stream that he did right before his subathon.
Oh, December. Yeah, Angie pause. We're looking at December. For the
Oh, God damn it, you can barely even hear him. Fuck, you can barely even hear him. Don't worry, I know the timestamp. Give me a minute. I got the fucking clip though. I'm just saying. Let me just go through here. Fuck it, why not? Like, I have the clip, so it's like fucking.
All right, are we getting anywhere here?
On his NSFW Twitter account. This is when my
wife.
wife.
This is the sexual assault allegations. Okay, so this is the allegations that this guy sexually assaulted Rain's wife.
And also too, Mintley, who was one of Sandwich's former mods. Pink Sakura Ito, the parts where it says deleted, were a part of his thread. They were. There we go. The posts that were deleted in his thread are the parts that were mass reported by Sandwich's audience to try and cover up the evidence. They still have the images. I don't on their end, but they were in this thread right here. As well as right here and here.
Pull up and what is an okay? Because Louis was caught jerking off to Invisigirl porn. Invisigirl age. Oh, it says 27. Okay. You'd look so much more kawaii, and I don't know what that means. If you had... Okay, I know that Neko means cat in Japanese. That's like the... I know, because I did Duolingo Japanese for approximately, like, 5 days. So I could say Neko Inu, Ichi ni Sanyon go Roku Nana. That's it. Oh. Konnichiwa, sayonara. That's it. That's all I know. I'm not getting cat headphones. You're a pedophile.
And if you're watching the YouTube VOD, you can pause and do it anytime. Okay.
Speak American? Speak American. Okay, can I derail for 2 seconds here? Because you just reminded me of something. You just reminded me of something that I feel like for like 2 seconds. Very quick. Very quick. Piers Morgan and Megyn Kelly were talking after the very controversial Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance that I still haven't watched. And this is like the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives?
Who exactly feels like there's a middle finger given to them? If you're American, you should know Spanish. I don't. I'd like to. But like, you should learn Spanish. The truth of the matter is, like, the Spanish-speaking population in this country is fucking huge. A lot of this country's former territory belonged to Spanish-speaking nations. You had New Spain, Mexican territory. I know the Mexicans didn't really do a whole lot with the full extent of their territory in the modern USA. But like, who feels like there's a middle finger towards them right now?
That damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States. We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish.
So that learn it. We're in the Americas. Nearly all below us, nearly every country except Guyana, French Guyana, and Belize. These are all Spanish. Every other country below us, they're all Spanish-speaking countries. We have a huge Hispanic population, and it's only going to go up.
This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos.
Excuse me? What the fuck was that? Is she okay? I remember she used to be like a mainstream reporter.
For the country, not for the Latinos.
The who?
Not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking...
Can you imagine being like so fragile and insecure that you think another language is an insult to you? We have major cities. Miami's 60% of Miami Spanish-speaking, and Miami's like isn't Miami considered like the capital of Latin America essentially? We have Puerto Rico.
English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater.
This country doesn't have an official language, but if we do, it should be English and Spanish.
Featured as our primetime.
What is the oldest city in the United States of America? Does anyone know? Does anyone know this? The answer might shock you. Before Jamestown, before the British colonies on the East Coast, the oldest city in America is St. Augustine, Florida. Established in the 1600s. I'm pretty sure there are still buildings there. There's like a building there you could find from the 1670s or something. Like, Spanish is like you talk about, it's not our historical language. Big portion of our country, Spanish would be a relevant language to learn. Look at the names of some of our major cities: Los Angeles, Santa Fe. Who goes to Santa Fe? I know that was like the capital of New Spain. Las Vegas.
Entertainment.
Okay, what is the national language, officially, the national language of the United States of America?
Every American should be bilingual. Okay.
I mean, English. And
that's not true at all. This country doesn't have an official language.
There's been a push for many years to make it an official.
You don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out. That people have been pushing to make it official.
Okay,
right,
so you're trying to make official.
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over.
True, I went to England. I'm like, where's the culture?
And now it's gone. We're not allowing that here, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim. It's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected. And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American.
Anytime I met like a Muslim South Asian in England, they like turned into a hostile mob and they were screaming at me and stabbed me and then blew the both of us up. True, they're all radicals. Radicals.
But refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we had to keep the Super Bowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football.
Yeah, and the ultimate Hispanic history is partially American history. And, like, yeah, Spanish should be an official language. Spanish should be an official language. Every kid should learn. We should make sure people have fluency in Spanish before they graduate. I mean, in Canada, aren't you expected to? I mean, I know Spanish is most high schools. You take Spanish or whatever, albeit it's very lacking. But like in Canada, don't you all like? Doesn't everyone, even if you're not from Quebec, don't you learn French and shit?
Ball is ours. They call it American.
Most Canadians don't speak French as their first language, right? But French American history is still a big part of Canada and the language, etc. More specifically, Quebec.
In football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim,
not Spanish, not Muslim.
Anything other than good old-fashioned.
Why, to her, like, this is the problem. This is like where the xenophobia and racism comes in. When you act and pretend like there's this mutually exclusive dynamic between the Spanish language or Islam, and if you look at like the Muslims in America, like, their narrative completely falls apart. These are incredibly well-integrated people that they work. They're like you and I, right? It's not this whole notion that like Islam, someone merely following it. Many times they're only following it for cultural reasons. They're not necessarily religious fanatics. And America, these two things are mutually exclusive, is just like a ridiculous idea. But especially Spanish, when like this part, you know, Islam wasn't widespread in the Americas, obviously, but the Spanish language at one point, you know, was. It is a quintessential part of our history.
American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Why? That doesn't make you more American. It's just, once again, it's plastic patriotism. Waving the flag, eating the greasy food, etc. It doesn't make you any more American than the guy that's like fucking eating a tamale. Like, the flag is a symbol. It's a symbol. It stands for a set of values. And you can do all of those things and still not understand what these fucking values are and what they mean. And another guy who doesn't have a flag, who doesn't wave a flag, does understand these values and appreciates them. He'd be way more American than you. Just because you like are performative, this doesn't make you more patriotic. Anyways, back to the femboy pumpkin fucker.
Could you give me some cuddle? This is the trigger warning that I'm putting on right now. This is the trigger warning. But I made sure that these images were heavily censored. Okay? It's Femboy sandwich right up there.
The oldest city in America is San Juan, Puerto Rico. Okay, well, continental America.
This was on his NSFW.
I guess Puerto Rico still falls. Would Puerto Rico fall in the North or South American plate? Because it's. I know Jamaica, for whatever reason, is considered North America. Hold on. With oceanic territories, it's a bit more complicated. They're not technically.
Twitter account. This is when my wife first met Sandwich. Hey there, I'm doing well. How about you?
So these are the sexual assault allegations.
Did you see my recent tweet? Sending some pics if you want some. Yes, I did, but I also just wanted to say hi. I'm pretty happy I met you. I've enjoyed hanging out with you in the server and talking with you. So, we can kill two birds. We can hit two birds with one stone. And then next is the images, which I will show in a bit. But this right here, she's referring to this caption about did you see my tweets? And his tweets are just him. They were him in cosplay. There was no nudity at all. This was just him in his cosplay. Nothing more, nothing less. He says this. She doesn't say yes. And before she even like answers this one, you just send them anyways. Just completely ignoring her saying yes. She says yes right here in response to seeing your tweet. Not to you wanting to send nude pictures. You still did not get a consent from my wife to be sending your fucking gross nudes. Your nudies. And to show proof, this is him censored sending fucking nude images to my wife.
if that's true, that's pretty bad. That might be sexual harassment. Albeit, I'd love to see how the wife responded to these. Because it seems like he recontextualized the pronoun shit in hindsight to make it unfavorable to this guy after he came out with allegations. But furthermore, we can all agree here that sending people nudes unsolicited is horrible. Right? It's horrible. So, why is it then?
Give us the context.
Please.
Wait a minute.
Good at Among Us.
Everyone context behind that one too.
Whoa.
I can actually get.
Wait
No,
Where is it here?
I'm again not weaponizing suicide.
Have you ever sent an
Legit-
unsolicited dick pic to Mango?
Okay.
Not to Mango.
Nick, kick Nick out of
Wait.
Hold on, everyone be quiet.
You will never get the closet days back. You now get this boring pre-scripted bullshit where there's no room for stuff like that. Augie needs to go back to the closet.
I'm really good at Among Us.
Everyone context behind that one too.
Whoa,
I can actually get.
wait a
No,
minute.
as a matter of fact, let me actually give the context.
I think it's funnier
behind that
without the
one.
context.
Hold up. Actually, let me give the. No. Actually, let me give.
Please.
No, let me actually give
Did he
the
actually
context
do that?
behind that one.
Don't
too.
give us the dick pic. Give us the context.
Okay,
Oh
just
no,
say
I'm
it.
not. I'm not giving you the fucking dick pic, dog. That shit's a mystery.
But that's an admission that he sent an unsolicited dick pic to someone.
These are heavily censored. I made sure you don't see any of it. But yeah, no, this is him. And you can tell because that's his part of his face right there. I had to make sure of it, but this is indeed Femboy Sandwich sending unsolicited nudes to my wife. And this is the parts where things get serious because I posted these images in my Twitter thread. He gets his audience to mass report the thread, and now he's telling everyone else that I posted revenge porn of him when these censored images, in which, by all means, do not count as revenge porn.
Can you show the wife's response? Because that would really add some merit to the claim. That would add some merit that this wasn't like unsolicited because they're referencing another tweet that we can't see. We don't know if this was like a given based on his relationship with your wife or whatever. But also, he did this with the once again with the pronouns role. He takes something that in hindsight, him nor the wife, they see no fault in this. And then now that this person's come out with claims against him, he presents a snippet and then gives it the worst faith interpretation, right? If it turns out your wife was okay with this and there was some sort of like understanding of consent here, and then you posted this uncensored, and after he made his doc into, that would be revenge porn, just to be clear.
There's a fucking testimony right there from a big streamer that you rated very briefly, like you rated this week. I'm just letting you know, you rated this streamer
Oh, if it was this, then that's not revenge
weekly.
porn.
And they even agreed with me that this is not revenge porn.
That's not, yeah, if it's censored.
So, I don't know what you're telling people, saying that what I sent, what
Can
I
you show us your wife's response to this?
1, 2, 3, and 6. Censorship, on the other hand, is a form
Okay, we understand. So with the unsolicited nudes allegation, we literally we don't have the full DMs. I would love to get those posted. The headphones did to substantiate that. But that leaves us where we are today, where he is now responding to this person's response to his response. It's just like a never-ending like femboy response cycle, which leaves us, I guess, with the response to the response to the responding response. Response to Femboy Sandwich. I'm currently going through each page of the Google Doc Sammy has posted, and I'll be responding piece by piece. I personally feel this is yet another attempt to bring up my past as an attack instead of responding to the situation directly. I would like to add that no, I never wanted to put myself on a high horse. No, I never wanted to play victim. You clearly did. I never manipulate, gaslight, or lie when it comes to the Sammy situation. We've caught him in a verifiable lie, so that's a second lie. I'll address the Google Doc page, my page in this thread. Okay, we'll check this out, but before we do, I have to pee. Give me 2 seconds. Muted, I know, muted. We're back. Okay, so let's get into his response to the Raintism's response to Femboy Sandwich. The response to the response of the responding response of the respondent. Let me just make sure my account doesn't show. Context. I did post a Twitter thread about my response to Femboy Sandwich's Google Doc. I more or less copied and pasted everything in that thread to here to make things more manageable to read. I'm currently going through each page of this Google Doc Sammy has posted, and I'll be responding piece by piece. I personally feel this is yet another attempt to bring up my past as an attack instead of responding to the situation directly. Well, your past is like a direct testament to your character here. And some of the behavior you've demonstrated in the course of responding is evidently manipulative, and you have evidently lied. We caught you on it on stream. So your past, I believe people can grow and change, but if you're repeating behaviors from your past, then bringing it in would be relevant, right? Also, isn't that how it works in court and shit? I'm not saying there's a court, but like you're allowed to bring in someone's past convictions if the crime they're being alleged to have committed shows like continuity or relevance. I personally feel this is yet another attempt to bring up my past and attack instead of respond to the situation directly. I would like to add that no, I never wanted to put myself on a high horse. No, I never wanted to play victim. I never manipulate, gaslight, or lie when it comes to the Sammy situation. That's a lie once again because we caught him. He lied in regards to the Sammy situation. I wanted to say that this isn't a response to every little detail and sentence of Sandwich's doc. I just wanted to point out the misinformation, manipulation, or anything false he claims about me in this situation or his Google Doc. 6-year-old lies. Yes, I did lie about a heart attack and sexual assault 6 years ago. So this like works if you were a teenager then. Once again, so everybody understands. 6 years ago, he was older than I am now, and I don't think it was 6 years ago, was it? Wasn't it 5? Regardless, he's really rounding that up. I think it just became 5 years, didn't it? Maybe it was 6. To me, you just okay. Also, you did these things. You can't claim victimhood like he did at the time because your past is rightfully being held against you. All the individuals who were extremely hurt by my lies back then, I've made up with all of them and apologized to them for hurting them. The real victims who were hurt by my lies, I've made up with them and spent the last 6 years taking accountability and learning my actions. Learning his actions. I'm glad you learned what you did. Also, you lied to the public as a whole, so I don't know how you could get the lies were to everyone, so I don't know how you can get forgiveness from literally everyone. You haven't demonstrated any change here. I just caught you in another lie. I saw it. I was interacting with that live. I don't forgive you. However, to use my abhorrent past as an irrelevant point, it is directly relevant. They're alleging that you're lying right now, and this is a history of you lying. You being being a pathological liar historically would actually lend credence to the notion that you are lying presently. Doesn't make it necessarily true, like guaranteed, but it does make it more likely, right? To me, you just dug up my past to hurt me and manipulated your audience. They're allowed to dig up your past. The fact that you feel victimized by them digging up the thing that you publicly did for absolutely like no good reason shows you still have the victim mindset that you had when you left the commentary community years ago. Okay, it was 6 years ago. Or no, what? Or wait, the August stream happened on September 16th, 2020. Yeah, it's closer to 5 than 6, right? I've taken accountability and I owned up to my actions back then. Hold on. I'm done being a fucking joke to everyone. I'm done being everyone's punching bag. I'm done accepting the fact that I'll never be taken seriously again. I am done being in the commentary community. He said this at the time. This is not accountability. You did something. You decided to lie to everyone. So actually, we're the victims, not you. Right? And now, and then on your way out, you still find a way to make yourself the victim because you got consequences for your lie. And then here you're doing the same thing. People are allowed to bring up the fact you didn't tell little lies. You told some of the biggest lies a person can tell. You faked a medical condition. And you lied that you were sexually assaulted. These aren't little lies, right? Also, he never talks about how he's changed. To use that and twist it is disgusting. Yeah, I'm not a See, shit like this. Yeah, I'm not a perfect person. This demonstrates he doesn't understand the gravity of what he did. Because when you say, yeah, I'm not a perfect person, makes it seem like you've made some genuine mistakes. These weren't mistakes. They were intentional, deliberate lies that you only fessed up to because you got caught on, right? And they're major lies. Normal people never do this in their lifetime. Nevertheless, twice. So it's not just like, yeah, I'm not a perfect person. No, you're like, your history is exceptionally egregious, and you're going to have to deal with that for the rest of your life or time you spend online. That's not going to change, and people have every right to bring that up. And the fact that you think that other people are wronging you because they bring that up demonstrates this complete lack of change on his part. To use that and twist that, how is that twisted? It's disgusting. Yeah, I'm not a perfect person. I never claimed to, but all I wanted was for you to take accountability for mistakes you made. It was never necessary to bring up 6-year-old lies. Notice how he says 6-year-old lies. Your 6-year-old lies. Lies you told. Show some possessiveness in the sentence there. These, because you can interpret 6-year-old lies as lies about him. Lies I told 6 years ago. Not to mention, your source videos are completely inaccurate to the presentation of the point you were trying to convey. Doesn't explain how. Source, trust me. So all I ever wanted, Sammy, all I ever wanted was an apology for what you did to my wife. That was it. You finally took accountability. I would like to add on this too. This is a really weird thing to say. Now, Sammy, I didn't hate you because I was jealous. I hated you because you made my wife uncomfortable and you sent her that stuff when she didn't want to see it. It seems like once again you're manipulating things. This is a statement from Sandwich's Doc. I have never intentionally or maliciously sent unsolicited images to anyone on purpose and was under the impression that Flora had agreed to see these images. I have since realized this was a miscommunication, and for that I apologize. Rainey is claiming that I sexually harassed his wife under the pretense that I sent unsolicited images. Below is the DM exchange between Flora and I. If you read the conversation, you can clearly see where the misunderstanding lies. I was never informed that sending those images made anyone uncomfortable, and it was never brought to my attention privately. Okay. So, that actually makes a bit more sense, albeit you're still a fucking idiot. But like that, if we're to believe that narrative, then the images to the wife would not be sexual harassment, even if they were unwanted. Because what makes it harassment, for someone to be a sexual harasser, they have to have reasonable belief that what they're saying or doing is unwanted by the other person. Like, would a reasonable person believe that this is unwanted? Or can we reasonably expect that they knew that this would be unwanted? And the problem is, here, there seems like there could be a genuine misunderstanding that would, like when they ask, do you want to see the pics? And the person says yes. So they send these pics, not understanding those are not the pics that this person specifically wanted, right? And then if it doesn't repeat after the boundary is asserted, it's not sexual harassment. It's just a fucking mistake. A degenerate mistake, don't get me wrong. Sammy, you were saying I love you to a lot of people within our friend group back then. You never set boundaries with me until we stopped being friends. Not to mention to how you also told Flora that we were your favorite people, and you said I love you to us. I apologize for making you uncomfortable by saying that, but again, you did not communicate with me that much. Okay, notice here, he says, I apologize for making you uncomfortable by saying that, but again, you did not communicate with me that much. That's in regards to the best friend point. Keep in mind, previously, he denied that he ever said it. Then, he realizes in his original thread, he admits to saying it, and then, after that, right, he's here, seemingly admitting that he said it. So, you lied, this time as well. So your past is absolutely relevant, because you're lying in response. Sammy's timelines mix up. Sammy, you deleted your NSFW account in November 2024, around the time my wife took the DM screenshots. You logged out of your NSFW account permanently in late September 2024. This week, you mentioned to me in your server VC during that time you were still acting flirtatious and sending nudes to me and everyone in August 2024. There's a blatant lie by you. Okay, their claim specifically was that they weren't doing an NSFW. Them having private sexual or flirtatious exchanges doesn't negate them claiming that their public presence was no longer NSFW. Right? If I tell you I don't have any NSFW accounts, and then in private, like I was having sex with people, those two things would not be mutually exclusive. Sammy, the day I posted your venting Google Doc on February 14th, 2025, you posted in your server, they're going to crash out when they see this. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew you just wanted to hurt and upset me. Boo-hoo. Holy fuck, boo-hoo. Yeah, of course I was going to respond because it was a lie about me. It was manipulated. The same behavior you accused me in your Google Doc, you were just as guilty of it as well. Yeah, the revenge, he's correct on the revenge porn point. He did not post revenge porn of this person. This right here, thank you for finally acknowledging this and putting your foot down about me being doxxed. However, this never had to happen through a Google Doc. It would have made this whole situation more easier if you would have just simply publicly stated this without the need of being forced into it. But overall, thank you. I love my community. Yeah, this past week has been posted about you. That's not a secret. Throughout my Twitter feed, though. It's been about my content in my own space. I made one post venting and being genuine about how you and your community have been ruining my life this past year, and has led to your community doxing us. I didn't make these posts because of your VTuber debut. I'm sorry, but I don't care. You do your own thing, but spinning this as if I'm once again jealous, when I'm not, is manipulative on your end. Because I disagree with your assertion of my intentions, you're being manipulative. It's great logic. Your VTuber debut is completely irrelevant to what's been going on in my personal life. Also, too, I'm sorry, but when you delete tweets, hide replies, and lock replies are being faced serious allegations, and if you say anything about it, you make yourself look more and more guilty, which is what I stated a few times this week. Yeah, I felt that your I love my community tweet shortly after I posted about how unsafe I felt because I was doxxed by your community was directed towards me. Okay, that's a power play. Someone's like, this person's community is harassing me and my wife. They've doxxed us. And you just tweet, I love my community. If history goes to show, you've acted childish many times to get a reaction out of me, and I was sick of it, which is why this week turned out the way it did. Manipulation. This is disgusting. I'm sorry, but like, what does this have to do with the problem at hand? If it's completely irrelevant to the point of the doc, why is it in the Google Doc? I'm not going to mention how the screenshot right here shows me venting to him about a private argument my wife and I had during that time. Sammy showing a bunch of screenshots trying to make yourself look like a good guy. It's disgusting and distasteful. Once again, very manipulative. Yo, is everything okay? No. What's going on? Flora and I got into an argument. Oh no, what type? She pretty much told me that I'm not good with saving money. Oh, was it just that she told you, or did it escalate? She showed concern that I was going to get fast food, but I explained to her that my money is fine and that I have enough for our wedding to get shit, which is fine because I still have 1,000 coming in from my grandmother and 300 from Twitch. If you're planning for a wedding, having $1,300 coming in is not enough, and you should not be eating out as a so him and his wife that he's making sex tapes with of them fucking pumpkins and him getting dominated by her have an argument because all this guy does is eat fast food and drink Coke. And his wife said that they shouldn't be eating out or whatever. And they got into an argument over this. Also, why are you're nearly 30. Where are you getting money from your, maybe she died? I don't know. Sammy, you sent not just my wife, but your friend's partner nudes too. Without their consent, you publicly stated that you wanted to have a threesome with Flora and I. Flora was uncomfortable with that. I'm sorry, but that's straight up sexual harassment. Was there ever any indication? You were literally asking them or talking about like sexually collaborating with them, and the threesome discussion they implied was mutual, and you never denied it. So the hindsight, oh, this person, somebody's feelings aren't going to be relevant. What's going to be relevant to a sexual harassment claim is what they reasonably presented as their feelings at the time and what the perpetrator, the alleged perpetrator, did with that info. So if the wife said she was uncomfortable and then this persisted, it would be sexual harassment. If she never said she was uncomfortable and they just had this sort of relationship, then yeah, that's not sexual harassment. I'm sorry, one last thing. You accuse me using buzzwords all this week. This is how you start off your post, leading people to assume I raped or essayed someone when I never did. TW rape, essay. No, when they're putting the trigger warning or whatever, that's going to be, I agree that can like fluff up the document and lead people to think that what they're about to click is very serious, more serious than it is. But those are just subjects that are mentioned in the document that would make it potentially triggering. People take this out of context and use this misleading wording to damage my career, which you claimed in your document that you cared about people's reputation. You mentioned a lot. This will be hopefully for now my last post about this. Please don't mislead people next time, Sammy. Sammy, it never had to be like this. You told me you were willing to settle things and not escalate to this last year. I took you up on the offer and you decided to act childish and block me. Please, Sammy, move on from... Didn't Rain just admit he was tweeting about Sammy? I hope you get the help you need, Sammy. In conclusion, Femboy sandwich. Dude, wait. I'm sorry. We got to do it to him. In conclusion, Femboy sandwich. Please leave me alone. I'm already aware that I am by default going to receive a lot of backlash from your audience. Sammy, it was never about the attention. I just wanted to seek justice for what you and your audience has been doing to Flora and I for a year. You finally took accountability, but you were so childish that the one way for you to actually apologize was to bring others down with you. Use the same buzzwords you accused me of to bring me down with you instead of taking accountability. You've hurt a lot of people who have trusted you over the past almost 2 years. So, this is a completely degenerate drama. Everyone involved in this story, I hope they all decontaminate themselves and go live fruitful lives somewhere very far away from myself. It seems like everyone involved here is a sexual degenerate, but the allegations of sexual harassment, by definition, are not substantiated. It also seems like the allegations of revenge porn against Raintism by the other party are not substantiated under the definition of revenge porn. It also seems like Raintism deliberately lied in his response and still thinks he's a victim after willingly decide to lie about a rape story by his own admission and fake a heart attack. Huge lies that will always be brought up as long as you're online. He doesn't understand why someone is bringing this up. But yeah, that's that. That's the Femboy drama. And yeah, maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. And I will send you to... Also, we hit Streamly goal. Icy's becoming more active. The rise of 26 begins. I won't send you to anyone because no one's live. Take care, guys. Peace, peace. Bye-bye.